I am so sorry that I am late. I see that Chris and Nicole are on YouTube and waiting for me. Hello. No, not tech issues. No, not. What did Nicole say? That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, because I've lost power so many times, you guys. I don't blame you for thinking that I lost power, but no, I didn't lose power. It's fantastic. I fell asleep. And I didn't think I was going to do that. I laid down just to rest because it's been a busy day and I wanted to lay down. Somebody's hair. I wanted to lay down. Hi. Sorry, so sorry to keep you guys waiting. Yeah, and it was so it was so nice and cozy and comfy. I just fell asleep. And I woke up and I woke up and I went, I fell asleep. I wonder what time it is. I don't have a clock in my room, but I have my phone. So I finally I let myself lay there for a minute or two. I did not think. I laid down at like 2:30. I slept for 2 hours and it went by like that. And I looked at my phone. It said 16:31 and I went, I'm supposed to be online right now. Okay. And so it took me these 15 minutes to get my shit together to get online, you guys, because I was just asleep. I'm not going to lie. That's exactly what happened. I was sleeping. I slept 2 hours in like 2 minutes. That's what it felt like. I was just out. It was great. I have no recollection of anything for the last couple hours. It was fantastic. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing great. Hello. Thank you for coming to this impromptu. I didn't want to call it an emergency podcast because that's what everybody is calling their sleeping. I know. I was sleeping. Hi, everybody. Hello. I was totally, I was gonzo. I was out of here. And so anyway, but thank you for coming to this this impromptu podcast. I love you guys too. I love you. I saw that you messaged me, but I had no time. I'm like, I will get back to her later. I am at this moment late. I need to go to the bathroom, fix my hair, put some stuff on my face, get my drink. And what on earth has gotten in my mouth? Oh, maybe I had some fuzz on my powder thing. Hey. Everybody here. We got Chris, we got Laura, we got Nicole. Everybody's not everybody's on the YouTube. We have Ryan on Facebook, Chris and Nicole, and my Nuffle, that's Katia. Hi, loves. Hello, everybody. Coming to you live from Northern California here on Monday. Almost 5 p.m. So thanks for everybody being for coming. It has been really, really intense these last couple days. I'm gonna jump right into it. I love you guys too. Thanks for being here. You guys are the shit. I love you. Yeah, we need to talk, people. We need to talk. I mean, wow. Hola. Wow. About, what's been going on. What happened this weekend. I want you guys to chime in. I want you guys to share with me how you're doing, because it's been really intense since the assassination attempt on Trump. A huge major, that's a shockwave. I mean, it was a shockwave, and it's been just this massive energy wave. We're in the Stargate. This is the kind of shit that happens in a Stargate, you guys. Classic. This is a big one. This is the kind of stuff that happens in a Stargate. Yes, oh my God, America, you guys okay? Yeah, we're okay. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot of speculation and confusion and just all of this. There's a lot of negative energy going around. I mean, just it's been a lot. It's been a lot. I didn't have too much time to okay, you guys. So what Ryan says, I'm starting to believe you. Stargate. Once you start charting stargates, you guys, and our stargate is 7/7 to 7/17, give or take a couple days, and we have big timeline shifts in Stargate. It just, or like the day before, which still it counts, but you're so funny. Yeah, they're a thing, and that's one of the first things that came up when that hit me. I went, oh my God, we're smack dab in the middle of the Stargate, and here we go, kind of thing. With a big event happening. I had been working. It was Saturday. I work a lot I don't work a lot on Saturdays. Some Saturdays I do, some Saturdays I don't. Just all depends. This Saturday I needed to. I'm getting ready for the Soul Quest program starting today, Monday. Happy Soul Quest to those of you who are in the Soul Quest program. You guys kick ass. And anybody else can start at any time in the Soul Quest program. But it's like for the people that were starting with the launch, now the doors are open, and there was stuff I needed to finish up with that because I couldn't do it over the last week. And then I had a healing session for a client who can't see me during the week. So I make room on Saturdays for people who cannot see me during the week. And I only had like 45 minutes. I needed to eat, and I got my food. I sat down in the chair. I'm like, oh, I'm going to put some video on YouTube. I don't have a TV in my living room. And the first thing I see is an emergency podcast from Patrick Bet-David about Trump's assassination attempt. And I went, what? And yeah, and that's how it hit me. And I was transfixed for the next 25 minutes, watching and looking at what had gone on not too long before. I just missed it. I was busy, and I wasn't watching his rally live, but there it was. And it was really intense to watch. I think I went like this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, as I was watching my phone. Oh my God, oh my God. That Cora, my dog, came up and looked at me and was like, are you okay? And I went, oh yeah, Mom's okay. It's okay. I had to reassure her I was okay, because my energy just completely shifted, and it startled her. So yeah, it was really intense. And I'm a psychic physical empath. And I'm very much connected to the collective, to the energies coming into the collective, the general collective energies and frequency, and Gaia and our divine counterparts, and all this woo-woo stuff that I'm all connected to. And I feel in a physical, energetic, spiritual, emotional way, and I get information about what that's all connected to. Since the evening getting into a few hours later, after the event, I started to feel it physically, and the way it presented for me, and quite frankly, has lasted into today. And I knew it started to come through on Saturday. Well, it started to come through on Saturday night, but definitely yesterday, that I needed to do this. And it was just, and so the way I was feeling it physically was my stomach, my solar plexus chakra, my stomach got really bloated. and my lower back started to hurt. And this is very much the kind of thing that happens when there's a global event, when there's some type of catastrophe, when there's some type of attack, like it happened when Israel happened. It happened when Ukraine happened. It happened when there's been tsunamis or big events, like these types of things. Like, it'll hit me in a really physical way. And it's not just me, it's me picking up on all of these energies, these that rock our boats, that are lower frequency, that cause grief, sorrow, despair, anger, sadness, fear. And then we get into anger, judgment, shame. This event had literally all of these things, and such a mixed bag as well of emotions going through. The energy is really high, intense, emotional energy, but a lot of different types, like what that was all about and what exactly, different groups of people, and not just groups, but just how different people are feeling, and how that kind of groups together energetically, frequency wise. We have people from so grateful and relieved that he wasn't killed, to upset that the assassin, the guy, wasn't successful there. And then we have the repercussions of everything in between. Then we have the speculation. Then we have the questions and all the things. And so many questions, so much to unpack and to take a look at. But I can tell you right now that unequivocally, this was bigger than what it seems. This is a mixed bag. People are saying, was this incompetence? Was this an inside job? Was this staged? Was this real? Was this a lone shooter? Did he have help? What, who's involved? Is this deep state? Whatever else. I think I got it all there. all these questions. And sometimes, in a lot of cases, it's actually yes to a few of those things. It's not just the one thing. People say, is it incompetence? Was it a setup? Was it an inside job? Because all of these, factors, this doesn't line up. What's going on here? Listen, our government and officials and the people who run it are so corrupt. But not everybody, right? So not everybody in any space in government that's like, oh, is it everybody that's, corrupt and vile and whatever, however you want to paid for and has their agenda and are dark side puppeteered because they have these dark side parasites and blah, 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 blah. No, not everybody, not everybody, but quite a few. And I've said it for a while, when they have denied Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Secret Service protection from the very beginning, I heard divinely, that is a blessing in disguise. That is okay. Because at first you go, that's horrible. That's really shitty. He has to spend his own money to protect himself. He's a fucking Kennedy, for God's sakes. And then it's like, not such a bad thing. Because he pays for it. His campaign pays for it. They're not bought and paid for and managed by the dark side in any way. even if you go, well, it's not all of them. Well, that's, even if it's a small percentage, it's too much. So I have had, and I have been vocal about this. I have tweeted about it. I've talked about it, that it's, brought this up here before. Hey there. Hey, Karen and Adrian. Thanks for joining. Thanks for everybody for being here. I appreciate you being here. And I hope you're all doing okay. But yeah, I've been pretty vocal about it, because that's what's come out. It's like, you know what? Let's stop, bitching and moaning about this whole Secret Service thing. Just kind of go, you know what? Some things happen for a reason. Like, again, with him, with, pivoting to Bobby here, they didn't let him do the debate, right? So he did his own. And what happened? He got seen by so many more people, and so many more people went to his side and started to know who he was. So that was a blessing, right? So no, they didn't let him on the debate stage on CNN, but then he went and did his own thing and turned out to be even better. Is that the way it should be? And no, but is that the point right now? We're in a paradigm shifting time, and things are not going to be as normal. They're just not like that. And I think a lot of people have witnessed that whatever level of consciousness that you're at, for a while now, it's pretty clear that things are not the way they've always been. We can't count on things to be the way they've always been. They're shifting, they're changing, and that's a good thing. We need them to. We desperately need them to change. We need things to change. So we got to roll with how these things come about. But it is really, really clear that there was absolute breaches in security, that this was not a normal thing. And we got reports even from whoever the high ups or wherever it came down from. They said the Biden administration, but really, who was it? The director, was it Mayorkas? Who was it that did this, that said this thing? I don't even have any of my rings on. Put some of my rings on. That they had specifically said, let's not cover the roofs. Like, specifically. There's ladders in place. There's people that were just, it's like, what? There's just enough fuckery to go, they cannot be this incompetent. And then for them to come out a couple days later and go, well, that was the jurisdiction of the police, not the Secret Service. Stop. And like, we need to have people who have been in the military make videos and go, this is not normal. They would have done this, there was this, these are military people who know what they're talking about, coming out, a few of them coming out to say, none of this is normal on this level of what should be security in so many different ways. And so anybody who is looking at this at all is thinking along these lines. So from was it staged? I'll tell you right now, it was not staged. That was a real person with a real gun, real rifle, really shooting at Donald Trump and missing by a hair. Unfortunately, somebody lost his life, a father of two, husband at the rally. I know his first name is Corey. I don't remember his, like, Cupertino, I think is his last name. I apologize. I don't have that handy. His daughter put out a really sad and emotional statement. It's like hard to listen to it or to read it without getting really emotional. So yeah, people were injured. So yeah, it was definitely real. how it happened, who's all involved, these things. Was it beyond just this one person? Was it the people that we know in government that pulled strings? Is it the deep state? Is it some, just, who's all part of this kind of thing are the questions. And it's important that we, acknowledge that things are shook up because of this event, that it's affecting the energy. Like I said, I feel it in my body. And I knew that, when this happened, that I would have to, come and talk about it. And it was just a matter of me processing and when exactly we're going to do this. And again, woke up today with the same feeling. I got to tell you that even just, and the message that kept coming out again and again and again over the weekend was, once you get in the timeline of having your live and talking about this, discussing it, answering some questions, things will start to settle down and get easier. And just by me scheduling this live that I was 15 minutes late for, the energy in my body started to realign. And I felt way better just waking up from that impromptu nap. So they definitely, my guides and guardians definitely put me in a reset mode and a recharge mode and took me away for 2 hours so I could, process before coming. So it's just, it's something to acknowledge. And so I ask you, maybe you're not who I am and feel to the extent that I am, or as connected as I am, or anything like that. Maybe you're not, you don't follow politics at all. Like I said in the post in the description of this live, you don't need to be in the US, and you don't need to follow politics. If you are spiritually awoken, conscious, and living in the world in a way that has you connected, you're going to feel this energy on different levels, and maybe not be conscious of why. I have understood for several years that my body is tapped into the collective for various reasons, so I can literally know in a really physical way before it even hits me mentally or psychically, emotionally, anything like that, like, oh, something is off. And in my past life, before I was conscious and understood what my body was doing, I would just be, I was always kind of a mess and didn't understand that physical manifestation of energy that's not just mine, but everybody's. And so, especially those of you that know you're deeper on the scale of empath, check yourself. Think about how you've been feeling these last couple days. If there's been anything that's off, you don't have to feel it in the same place as I do. You could have had a headache, or your neck hurt, or digestive problems, or whatever. Now, I'm not saying go look and make things up, or anything like that. It's good to tap in and to understand. And the more that you awaken, and the more that you're aligned, and especially empaths, the more that we understand what makes our bodies do the things that they do spontaneously. It's good to first thing to do is to ask, is this me? If I had known to ask that for the first 40 years of my life, things may have been different, but I didn't think to ask, is this me? Because it was my body, and why wouldn't it be me? Like, it just never occurred to me. Now I know, if something is off, it's probably not me, especially if it comes on suddenly. But I can feel all sorts of things in my body sporadically and suddenly. It's way, 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 way better by exponential leaps and bounds than it used to be, because I have cleared and healed and I'm fully connected and I'm aligned and I've done all this, work. And so I don't get the constant aches and pains and bullshit that I'm constantly dealing with, being chronically ill and chronically fatigued like I did forever before. And for the most part, I am closed off to things generally. It's like having your door cracked just a little bit, or your window just a little bit open. You're not, so if you're in a path, if you're a divine incarnate light being, empath, warrior, light body, light worker, however you identify the words and terms that you use, I kind of use them all interchangeably depending on the deal. But if that's who and what you are, you're experiencing, perceiving, and your perception of the world through your physical body is different than people who are not. That is a fact. And many people don't know that they are what they are, or they don't understand to the extent that it affects them in different ways. And everybody's a little unique. And one thing that came back in this energy wave is, this when this happens, it's of course not everybody is conscious and cares and is super in tune. Obviously, there's, it's not the entire population of humanity, but especially in the United States, which is massive. And if you're in the United States, in that matrix of energy connected to that, you're going to feel it more. If you're Canadian, if you're, or if you're in other parts of the world, but really, you are conscious, you are tapped in, there is that going on. And even if you're not, you're gonna feel this energy. It's impossible not to. You might not be conscious of it. It might be people going, damn, I have a headache these last couple of days, and never think that this is why. But it is definitely a thing. Chris said, I don't notice much. This to me feels like a very nervous energy. Yeah, it is a nervous energy. It is a fearful energy. It's mostly a low vibrational energy. It's a low frequency. Yeah, it's mostly a low frequency. I think, of course, there's people that, there is that relief. There is people really getting spiritual and talking about divine intervention and things like this, and just even saying like, oh, Donald Trump's got to be a changed man now because he's been through this, near death experience. The answer to that is no. He's still who he is. He didn't have some spirit awakening because of this. Unfortunately, he does and has continues to have the puppet master parasite. He is a narcissist, so he has the puppet master parasite. That didn't go away. There's always manipulation, calculation, control, and working and using, being tapped through people's energies. He's always been that, and he just is grown in different ways. So, that didn't change. I wish, unfortunately. Darn, I was 50. Chris says, darn, I was 50-50 on a change of heart. I mean, like any narcissist that has a parasite, they're not they're completely possessed, and then at the same time they're not completely possessed. There's different understanding as of what that means. They are completely all the time with this parasite. Now that parasite can maneuver itself and really shrink and not be so influential on the person, very strategically to make them present like they would if they don't have the parasite. They can turn up and down the dial of those things. Let me just put it that way. Whereas a lot of people consider possession, like Linda Blair and The Exorcist, like that's on a level all the time. And we don't have, there's just not that much of that going on in the world. And why? Why is that? Why aren't more people more possessed on that? Way off the, I mean, people don't spin their heads around. That's obviously movies, but you know what I'm saying? Like people do get really, really possessed. They're, completely obvious to anybody. And that's because the dark side does not like to be seen like that. They like to be invisible. And they like to fool us that they even exist. To a lot of people, I sound like a full-fledged crazy person talking about dark side parasites, puppet master parasites, and negative entities, energies that attach and use people as hosts. A lot of people are just like, this lady is nuts. And the only reason why she's shit is so she could get people to pay her for healings. No, it is just couldn't be further from the truth. I never wanted this to be true. And when it all came through for me to understand, I had the same reaction most people do. Like, oh, no, this can't be. And then you understand when you're close to people that have parasites that, hold on one second. I gotta block people who are coming in here. Okay. Once you're around people who have parasites, Christy Lana says infinity is nuts. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. I'm really not. I wish, trust me, I wish it wasn't true. I wish this shit wasn't true. I wish the spiritual war wasn't true. I wish parasites weren't true. I wish everyone was sovereign. Everyone was healthy. Nobody had to contend with this shit. And I really wish to a certain degree that more people could see what I can see and understand and know what I know. That I could just plug that into people, because I swear to you guys, sometimes it feels like I scream at the top of my lungs and nobody can hear me. And I know that that's not true. Look at you all. I know you guys know. There's a small population of you guys who know and do hear me and do understand. Not that because I've convinced you, but because you've had your own experiences, and then you heard me talking about this stuff and you went, oh my God, there it is. This is finally somebody who's talking about this stuff in a way that I've experienced it. And now putting together the puzzle pieces, this makes sense. And then you feel and you hear the ding, ding, ding within you, because you want the truth. You need the truth. Your soul needs you to know the truth. Your divine counterparts need you to know the truth. And there's no circumventing the truth. There's no like, I'll just be love and light and think positively. And if I don't think about the negative shit, then the negative shit doesn't exist. Oh, wouldn't that be lovely? Wouldn't that be lovely? I tried that way in the beginning when my guides and guardians were like trying to break through this like veil of ascension bullshit that is out there, that is all, and that in itself, and I've talked before, but since this is the subject, I got to talk about it again. But the dark poses as the light, and people who think they are doing light work get information and start from dark sources that say don't pay attention to anything that tells you that there's this darkness or the negative stuff or dark entities or anything like that, because there's this thing called the law of attraction and magnetism. And if you do, then you're creating it yourself. I mean, talk about gaslighting. What kind of bullshit is that? And once I understood, like, oh, I was like in that brainwashed, spiritually awakened, and rainbows and unicorns and blah, 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 blah. And, it's like, oh, live in light and positivity. And because it feels good. We want that to be true. But then there's the real world and what's really going on that people don't or cannot see with their eyes, but can feel and can go, what's going on here? And more people are starting to go, I'm getting a sense that more and more people are talking about spiritual war. More and more people are talking about dark forces and energies. I actually fell asleep listening to Tucker Carlson say those exact words in an interview that he had just today talking about this. And about 2 minutes in, he starts talking about the spiritual war and about dark forces. And in many, many different little pockets of what you consider mainstream, people are starting, and people aren't going, oh God, this is like religious rhetoric or this is bullshit, or some people are, no, people are going, yeah, I don't know what exactly this means, because people aren't used to thinking on those terms. Like, it's just not a thing. That's like, people can believe the Bible and in Jesus and, in a certain context and all of that. But when it comes to really bringing that into the real world and what we're dealing with now, oh no, there's not angels. Oh no, there's not demons. Oh no, there's this stuff that, it's just evil people, crazy people, mentally ill people. But why are they like that? Oh, they've had, maybe bad upbringings. Maybe they just don't have their morals and their ethics in check. Their money, greed, power. Okay. But what makes a person hurt other people for their own gain? When you say that person is a bad person, these people do bad things. They either hurt people, or they hurt the environment, or they hurt groups of people, whatever that it is. What is that about? And how does it get justified? Well, I'll tell you how. Because they have a parasite attached to them that is programming them and justifying whatever that it is to make things negative, to make things destructive, to cause strife and separation in the world. Why? Because that is what the dark side feeds off of. And why? Because the more of that shit we got in the world, the lower our frequency is, the lower our vibration. And the more of that we got going on in the world, the less we can connect to the divine and ascend and be sovereign and understand what the fuck is going on. Because they like us stupid, blind, asleep. And when I say they, I mean the actual dark entity forces. Most people that are possessed by these parasites have no idea that they are. Like, literally most people. It's not like they're conscious of that. Then we have the people who consciously work with the dark, and that's a whole other story. Now, I'm not saying that they're not people in power that don't consciously work with the dark. They absolutely do. Yes. That makes it even worse. So we have different slices from the same spiritual war pie and the same dark side. We have those who are, the majority of people are controlled and possessed by dark parasitic forces that make them do things in a way that they can justify. This is when you see and hear politicians and people in power and saying things that you go, that makes no sense. That is very separate. It's separation. It's separatist, or it's elitist. It's pushing people down and pushing people up, whether it's using money or power or control in one way or another. And then we'll see other people who clearly you go, oh, okay, this person actually cares and wants to help people, and it's obvious. And then there's a whole slew of people that we just don't know about that are also very much part of the system that is going on. But we need to understand that you're the real deal. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. I am the real deal. I am. Sometimes I just wish I was just, not. I do. I wish that sometimes. I'm not going to lie. It's like, I've always wanted to be normal. Whatever the hell that is. For different reasons during time. I wish I didn't have to talk about this stuff. I wish it wasn't real. I say that all the time. I truly, truly do. If I could wave my magic wand and just poof, and make it all go away, oh my God, I would in a heartbeat. I would literally give my life. If somebody said, you know what, Infinity, give your life, all the parasites would be gone, spiritual war over, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would do it in a heartbeat. Yes, I would. I'm saying that right now. I absolutely would. I give my life to it anyway. That is hilarious. I mean, trust me. But no, I got to do this, step by step and bit by bit and message as much as I can in different ways and heal people one by one, or, however it's supposed to go for now. But what I do know is when we got to 2024, it was like, girl, you're going to need to talk about this a whole hell of a lot more than you want to. And I went, because I would rather not. I would rather ignore it. I would rather pretend it didn't exist. But trust me, I've experienced enough in my own personal life. And we could sit here for the next 24 hours of me telling you stories about the dark side and the crazy ass shit that goes down, especially around somebody like me who makes it known and who puts out the beacon for people to go to understand what's going on, for people to find me so I can help them get rid of their parasites and see what life is like without that. Because that's a big deal. Katir says, yes, I watched one of Tucker's interviews as well, of him mentioning it. Yep. He's mentioned, it's been ever since he was on Joe Rogan, like 3 months ago. He's been talking about it more and more, like all the time. He's talking about it more and more. I've tried to actually reach out to Tucker Carlson, because, it would be really great for him. I mean, he's talked about it. He goes, I feel it. He goes, I feel nefarious, dark energy forces, and I feel also divine, angelic. He's talked about it. He doesn't at all, like he feels it, and there's enough there where he can kind of like, he's waking up. He's changed a lot. That guy's changed a lot. Katir says, again, thankfully you do talk about the darkness. Lets me know I'm not batshit crazy after everything I've witnessed and seen. Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I hear from a lot of people. And that's what keeps me going, is I do help people, and that's what I'm here to do. on whatever level, whether it's just, not just, but it's awareness about all sorts of different stuff. I'd rather talk about the light and the divine way more than the dark, way more. But it's not like that bullshit story that if we don't think about it, it doesn't exist. Because that's just like, if you really think about that, anybody who feels that way, like, I just don't pay attention to that stuff. And it just doesn't, no, that's not a thing. That's not a thing, because all of that darkness will exist whether you believe in it or not. And so will all of the light. Your belief in the dark or the light is fucking irrelevant to the spiritual war. But when you wake up, you become part of it, and you're like, have the responsibility to decide you want to see and know the truth, even if it really sucks and is uncomfortable. I mean, it's just, I can't understand why people, it's like, I get it. You don't want it to be real. It's denial. You don't want it to be real. I don't want it to be real. I just said that. But doesn't mean that so I don't want it to be real. I'm just going to pretend it's not and just go about my business and pretend it doesn't affect me. No. Trust me. It affects you. It affects you. It does. It does. Whether you have a parasite or somebody you love has a parasite, but there's no way you have gone through life unaffected by these little there's no way. I have yet to meet a person on this planet who has not been affected by the dark side parasites. Ever. It doesn't exist because most people have parasites to some degree. Not everybody, but most people. If I see 20 clients, one maybe doesn't have one, maybe two. They're not the kind that, they're not the puppet master narcissist parasites, because those people don't come to me because those parasites would never allow it. The people who come to me are the ones who have been, who do have parasites that are really, really affecting them, but they're able to push through and find their way out of that enough to get to me. And I consider it a victory and a miracle when that happens. And from my point of view, when that happens, it's like, for the person, they're just like, oh my God, I'm so glad I found you and you can help me, because I've tried so many other, things of this and that and blah, blah, blah. It's just all the stories I could tell about people and what they've been through. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And they, to them, it's just like, I finally found something and someone that's going to really like fix this for me, because she gets it and understands, and she's, and I'm so grateful and happy and blessed that I can do that. And I consider it a miracle because of how hard it is to control yourself when there's a parasite attached to you, or more than one parasite attached to you. And people can have more than one. They attach to your energy centers. They can attach to your head, through your body. I've had clients with 1, 2, and 3. I've had, can be very sophisticated. One of the things I have to get used to is people finding me, and this push and pull. The battle really begins then. And even, just the whole way through the process of healing. And even after somebody's healed, and I tell people this all the time, you think that you come to me and we're going to go through a healing or a series of whatever that it has to be for somebody. It's not going to end things. It doesn't make the spiritual war disappear when that happens. shifts your consciousness, and the fact that we're fighting to this degree shifts it, but it doesn't end it. You're not done. You're not like in the clear. You haven't crossed some boundary. Woo woo, they can't get me now. There's no such thing. The dark is here in a way that even if you don't have a parasite, they inject programs, thought forms is like what they're called, into the collective, so people can start perceiving things and feeling fear in different ways. Fear itself is the lowest vibration, the lowest frequency that we can feel. And there is an infinite amount of reasons and whys of why of being in fear. And they are multi-layered and connected to many, many different things at the same time. And that's also part of the Soul Quest program, is unraveling that for yourself, so you can like understand where your fear programming is and limitations and things like this, so you can like really, deprogram the programmed fears. That those are the triggers, that the things that set you off, the things that activate you. These are the programs that we've been installed with since we were born, and since our parents were born, and on and on and on, that's part of the collective consciousness that puts us in a state of being as soon as we get the vibration. Basically, as soon as that record plays, we start dancing to the dance of that record, of that frequency. I think that's an easier way to perceive that. And it's constantly going on in different ways. Let's see. Oh, let me back up. Chris says, oh my God, seriously, it's been years since I've learned anything from Tucker. Yeah. I've never been a Tucker person. He always really let me just say, I wasn't always a Tucker person, but over the last several months, I was guided I was like, oh, go listen to Tucker. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh, I do what I'm told. So I went and I did it, and I went, oh my God. Wow. Like basically ever since he left Legacy Media, ever since he was fired and started doing his own thing, he got away from that whole thing. And it started to shift his consciousness, because he wasn't part of that insane darkness anymore. Because we all know now. I mean, who here doesn't know? They're so full of shit. You know what I saw just a little bit ago on X was like this montage of headlines from CNN, NBC, whatever, saying like Trump rushed off stage after large popping noises, and Trump rally ended after he fell. Like, just completely, it's like there was an assassination attempt. He was shot at, and you're making it sound like it's something totally different. That's just an example of how they twist things around depending on the narrative they want to create. And until the pandemic, when people started to go, wait a minute, as a collective, an event happened, and everybody was experiencing the same things. And then we have media making it seem different. That's when people went, wait, this doesn't line up, what's going on? And then it's like, once people wake up to that for one event, you have to go, oh, is this whole house built of cards and every single thing bullshit? Yeah, it is. Everything is bullshit that they tell you. It's skewed in some way. It's propaganda. They want you to believe things this way or that way, depending on who you're watching and who you're listening to. They have an agenda for how to program you. So, and either way, it's dark in whatever way they want to be. So it's like, they got you either way. So yeah, but I do suggest taking a look at Tucker again, especially that he had that here's Joe Rogan again, talking about Joe Rogan. He had that interview with Joe Rogan. I highly suggest that one, but he's done a few since then and has talked about everything. Hey, Gabriella. Hey, Gabby. Hello. I was wondering about you. How are you? So good to see you. Christy Lana says Tucker Carlson was in Alberta, Canada, host by the far right provincial government. There is something dark feeding off this fear. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's always. If there's fear going on, yeah. The cool thing, though, that I've noticed about Tucker recently is he doesn't give a shit. He just says whatever, and it's been really, really great to watch. Katir says, also, I think can be kind. Sorry, I'll start over. Also, I think it can be kind of scary for a lot of people as well to know the truth. Oh, yeah. I still get shook up like I did for those few moments on Saturday. I know you were so cute. I was like, don't be scared. We figured out what something was that he saw in his house, and it was like both of us went when it came through. I was like, that moment when I told him, he was like, we both had this reaction to it. Because I didn't know. I mean, I don't know a lot of shit. I get told a lot of shit by the divine. So then I know stuff. Because I don't just know things. So that was a moment. But you're absolutely right, Katir. People. I've said it before. I had a client. She had a parasite for the last couple years. It has taken over her body. It makes her do all these weird movements. It makes her suicidal. She had a lot of parasites will do that. There's been a lot of loss, a lot of suicides. That is all dark. That's if you think suicide equals parasite equals them making them do that. I guarantee you. She wasn't successful, but this thing, she couldn't work. Her whole life fell apart. And the parasite tries to convince her that she's in a simulation and that it's AI. And I had to spend a lot of time unraveling that program with her. And the big problem that we found was that we got to it for her to understand that she actually rejects the truth. Because it came through very clearly. She doesn't want the spiritual war to be the answer. She actually wants to be the answer because it's just cleaner. It's just easier for her to go, okay, it's a program. That's not so nefarious. Like she would rather that. I go, but you don't understand. Like if it's an AI simulation, you cannot escape it. But we can remove a parasite and you can be in control. And still, she was like, okay, yeah, I get like it still was very, very hard for her. And in the end, she was taken away from me before I could remove that parasite because of the battle. And there's been several people like that. I'm not always successful. I can't always help them help themselves. Like they have to do it for themselves. And it's like, imagine the very thing that you need to get rid of is the very thing that keeps you from getting rid of it, that controls you to not get rid of it, to not believe in it, to change and just whatever. To not, a lot of people start, I've had several people start like, it programs people against me because it doesn't want that person to remove it. They invest a lot of time. Like once a parasite is integrated with a person and has been with them for years and years and decades, they don't want to go easily. They're going to fight the whole way. But actually, if we actually get in the healing session, it is so much easier. It's inevitable is what I should say. Because the light always wins. The light will always win over the dark. But there needs to be that understanding that the dark is even there to begin with. It's complicated. It's not easy. It's it's a lot. And the sooner more people understand that somebody that gets on a roof to shoot the former president rally has a parasite, and anybody connected to that person that's helped that person has a parasite, period. Anybody that hurts other people has a parasite, because our natural station as a human, and this is what Tucker was talking about today in that interview that he did. I'm going to actually find it. Oops, I've got ahead of myself. Hold on a second. Accidentally hit stuff. Hold on, I'll get back to that. But I do want to let me find this video. It was from earlier. It was just from today, and I'll just check my history here pretty quick. Give me a second, because this is something that even maybe I could just find it. Seriously, I'm like literally clicking all the wrong things. Here we go. Let me just share this with y'all, because he even says humans are the only animals that hurt each other, that commit suicide. That he goes on this thing. He's like, other animals don't do that. Why do humans do that? Why do humans do that? Because they have these parasites that make them do that. Because yes, our normal, us sovereign, we don't do that. We don't consciously hurt other people physically, mentally, sexually, emotionally, energetically, environmentally, and any other way you can think of. We don't do that unless we are infected to do that and repeatedly do that. Why? Or murder people, or start wars and drop bombs on people and shit like this. Put people in gas chambers, kills millions of people at a time. What would make somebody do that? And if we just go, power, why do we want the power? What is driving that force? Especially now. It's the things that are attached to people that make them do that. That's why some of us go, oh my God, shock. And other people, are like, yeah, do that. What's causing that? There's a thing there. Okay, Chris says, I forgot about the AB meeting with him, but oh my God, you're right. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Okay, and then Carrie Ann, hi. Tucker is an amazing human being. I'm a huge fan. I just started paying attention to this bullshit since Tucker went free. Oh, good. See, so if he was your in to the awakening, however you've experienced that, that's fantastic. Because yeah, he started talking about it. If you watch him on Joe Rogan, within 3 minutes of that interview, he starts talking about it. I was like, I literally almost fell out of my chair. I almost tripped or something when I started listening to it. I was like, what is happening right now? But I was like, oh, like listening to him and Joe talk about this. I was just like, you're so close. You're so close. Oh, I want to talk to that man so bad. Carrie Ann says, I am so excited I found you tonight. You're my new great find. Aw, thank you, sweetheart. I'll check out your website and get in touch. Love this live, but I need to head out. Oh, okay. Be well, everyone. We've got a lot of work to do. Yeah, definitely. I hope I caught you in time there, Carrie Ann. Thanks for being here. Yeah, check out my website. Check out my Medium. There's links to all. I have a Facebook, medium.com, where I post all of my articles. They should be posted on my website, but they're on Medium. My podcast is usually on Fridays live. Here we are on Mondays because of this. And what else? Oh, yeah, I'm on X now. we'll see how much longer I'm on X, but I'm on X. Boo! Just thinking about you, dear. How are you? So nice to see you here. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for all the hearts. Love, love, love. And speaking of hearts, I get some love and some likes. I'd appreciate it, people. Helps the algorithm. But anyway, there is your link to that interview that he just did today. And he started talking about how human beings are the only ones that do these things to each other and to themselves. He goes, animals don't commit genocide against themselves or other animals. He's like, animals don't commit suicide. Animals don't, I guess animals can't just murder other animals, but there's usually a reason. That might get complicated. Usually if an animal's killing another animal, it's not just because they're a murderer. They're usually hungry or protecting something, right? But people are different. And this is why. It is the spiritual war. It is dark side parasites that make people do the crazy shit that they do. And people are doing more and more crazy shit. Do you remember when, and this is still going on a little bit. I'm okay. God, I got back to catch you live. Me too. Me too, love. I was a little bit late because I fell asleep. But anyway, sorry, totally lost my train of thought. Yeah, totally lost my train of thought. I'm not even going to pretend I didn't, because I did. Thinking way too many things at the same time. But anyway, okay, so people and how we hurt and how we hurt ourselves and each other with the parasites and all of this. So going back to this whole situation with Trump and this assassination and what's all going on here and the energies and the paradigm shift and the blah, 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 and all these different, just talk about, it was like, it's one of those like energetic nuclear bombs. And it can be negative, but if we use it in a way to see and understand and put out truth, then that's what overtakes the dark. That's what overtakes, the fear. We become in control because now we're doing something. And that's what, and why I was guided to do this live today and not wait until, Friday for my live. So we could discuss this. We could talk about this and get some questions answered about what's going on here. I've had them myself, obviously, but I've been around enough to know, like, I can just spot, and just kind of very easily just know, because now I know when we have a situation. But you can too. This is what I was going to say. There's more people now more than ever that are just losing their shit. And in the pandemic, when people we had masks and everybody was so scared about what was going on, and social distancing and shutting down restaurants and all that crazy shit. Like, okay, wear the mask up until you sit down, and when you're taking bites of food, it's cool, but then when you get up to go to the bathroom, got to put on your mask. Like, oh my god, it's so silly. But all that shit, really, there was so much negative energy going around, so much fear in various ways. It hit all the pillars, all the foundation of pillars. It hit, security in your home. It hit, job stuff. It hit health stuff. It hit, family stuff. It hit, supply, am I going to be able to get all of this stuff I need? Like everything, there's fears in so many different ways. And then, being at the mercy of people in control with power, telling us what to do and all this stuff. It really supercharged the dark side and people with parasites. And we saw this like wave of insanity on airplanes. Not that it's totally gone away, but it's not as bad as it was for a while there. I remember everybody just going, what is going on? And I said, what is going on with airplanes? Because, you know, and me knowing the spiritual, I mean, I was well aware of the parasites and all of these things when that started. So, but it was like, why is this, what's with this cluster? What's going on? And excuse me. And there's something about being in the air, ungrounded, and in a small space that the dark side parasites decided to trigger their hosts into causing these like pockets of negative energy outbursts to cause more fear and to take those experiences within those small, very highly charged emotional spaces. Because, you know, while there's people that travel all the time and get used to it, there's a lot of people, you know, when they're on a plane, they haven't been on a plane ever. They're on a plane for the first time in 10 years or whatever that it is. It's an event and they're nervous because they're in a plane and it's leaving the earth and there's jet fuel and planes fall out of the sky and people are afraid of planes and blah, 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 blah. And then you get people acting bonkers in that situation. And then what happens? Then you have people land wherever they go and then take that energy again and again, out, just maximizing this negative energy. Really wild how that goes. But there's certain times and certain events, certain energetic nuclear bombs that go off. And this Trump thing is definitely sorry, don't mean to minimize it. This Trump assassination attempt is definitely that sort of thing, because it makes all this negative energy come up. People start, you know, speculating and they're confused and arguing and what's going to happen and blah, 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 blah. And even when it came to RFK Jr.'s campaign, there was a lot of anxiety today about this whole thing came out over the weekend after the attack on former President Trump, that the solution suddenly was for Kennedy to be his running mate. So to drop out of the race and to join as his vice president. Well, this alone sent a lot of anxiety through the people who support, Bobby. And there was a lot of talk about that today. I knew the whole time that wasn't going to happen. We have a light and we have the dark, and that is not going to mesh. Again, I wish it could, you know, but you know, one strategic way that would have been cool was, okay, so he's his vice president. He's in there as a vice president for 4 years, and then he could be the president for 4 years, and then 4 more years. That would be the, you know, okay, if there's going to be but I knew that wasn't going to happen. I've had visions of him winning the presidency, and a lot of people, you know, since this thing with Trump and saying, oh, so many people are now going to vote for Trump, and there has been a lot of, I wasn't going to vote, but now I'm going to vote for Trump, or I was going to vote for Bobby, but now I'm going to vote for Trump, because, you know, it's like, well, nothing changed. Literally nothing changed. Like, he still has a track record. He's still the person he is. I mean, granted, most people don't know that many people know that he's a narcissist, but they don't know exactly what that means. And not only him, but many of the people around him. Not that it's their fault. It's nobody's fault when they have a parasite. Nobody, well, most people don't ask for it. Like I was saying earlier, you know, when the people actually do go looking for the dark, we're on a whole other level. When people go looking to connect with the dark, because the dark is ready and waiting for those people. Stay away from people who work with any dark magic, work with any voodoo, work with any spells, things like this. That's all dark shit, all of it. And once you get connected to that, it's bad business in various ways. It's never, ever, ever good. You never need spells. You never need anything other than your intention to connect with your divine counterparts, your guides and guardians. You never need anything but your intention to connect with your guides and guardians, to ask for help in any way, and they will be there. Any archangel, your guardian angel, any ancestor, any spirit, whatever, doesn't matter. Gaia, they're all ready to be with you and to help you at any time. You just need to ask. Doesn't take any special words in a special order. Doesn't take making a grid of ash or pebbles or crystals or anything. And you certainly don't need a spell. And a spell means that you are, and the person who's doing spells, are invoking energies to force people and situations to do things they wouldn't naturally do, or things that wouldn't naturally happen. That invokes dark energies. And you certainly don't need spells to work with angelics, ever. And there is that shit out there. Comes off all nice and light. Oh, let's do spells for Archangel Michael to help you. You know, you can just fuck off with that, because Archangel Michael doesn't need spells. Okay? So anything you see like that, reject it, walk away, don't have anything to do with it. I'm just, public service announcement here. Seriously. Anybody that's real deal doesn't need you to tell them a bunch of shit about you, to have information about you. And if you've been around me long enough to see, I've displayed that numerous times. I don't need your information to get information from the divine about you. Once you want to connect, I will get that. I don't need you to tell me a bunch of stuff and start putting things together. Any real deal healer or psychic or medium or whatever should not need anything other than their divine connection. Period. The end. We use tools. I'm guided to have an abundance and shit ton of crystals because they're good for energy. They're good. They're of nature. Those are great things. And plant medicine, those are tools. That's great. But I don't need any of it to do and be me. Just saying. Nobody else should either. If they're a real deal. Nobody else should either. And that's how you know. That's how you would know. Okay. I know I'm super excited, very passionate person. This is my life. Literally, this is my day in and day out life. I don't have a job and this is my side gig. This has been my life. I've been entrenched in this ever since ever without knowing it consciously, of course, in the beginning. And then for the last, let's see here. Really aware of this dark side, light side, spiritual stuff for about at least 9 years now. Takes me a minute. This has gone by fast, but it's been a long time. And I've experienced a lot. And just in my own personal life. And what I have had to let go of and walk away from and have taken away from me because of this. And especially because I am guided to message to bring awareness of the dark. You think they like that? Do you think they like, you know how often it happens where a wave of energy comes through and every single one of my clients start canceling and wanting to get out of their programs, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got this going on now. Awesome. And a lot of times the dark is successful. They can't, it's a thing, or they completely flip and change. It's wild, the shit that I've seen and gone through over the years. And it doesn't matter if I warn people, because the unseen and the dark and their forces are extremely powerful. And if you've got things running that is like in doubt, that it, you know, if there's doubt, if there's any type of wound that can be exploited, they will find it. This is why I'm always guided to help people eliminate illusions, fears, programs, triggers, addictions, anything that like, and just be aware, more and more aware what you have running and cycling, so you can be less vulnerable to the programs that are injected, especially the ones that want to get you away from your healing and ascension. I mean, that's like priority number one. Go back to sleep is what they want. Be in fear is what they want. And for every single person that awakens and every single person who starts to ascend and drop their lower vibrational energy and start to cycle in high vibrational energy and connect spiritually and wake up. It's not just, people think there's levels of being awake. I've talked about this before. There's being more conscious about what's going on in the world, and then there's really being spiritually awake. And that's being able to see and feel and understand that there's two sides of the veil, that there is a dark, that there is a light, that there are multiple realms and dimensions, and that we are connected to all of it. Most people just don't have that thing, or they think, oh, you know, if there's anything extra, it's aliens. And then there's this whole thing about, you know, what aliens are, and if they're nefarious, if they're this, if they're that. And I mean, so there's a lot that goes on there when it comes to the levels of consciousness. But let me tell you one thing. Again, something we all need to really understand as you move forward in your ascension, as you evolve, as you heal, as you connect, as you clear, as you gain more abilities and get stronger with your psychic senses and have better perception about what's really going on. That means you're advancing, and that means the dark will oppose you. So it's good to be in a group of people that can support you, and or more than one group. I have done my best to create places for people to be and to have support. And I do my best to support people when darkness comes and people get waves of darkness that comes through. But it's really important to understand these things. And if you know that you're connected to puppet master parasites or other things, or if you think that you have a parasite or anything like that, that you start to, work accordingly. But again, it doesn't make it all disappear. It just shifts and changes it. Chris is trying so hard to drag my husband to this, worse than pulling teeth. Yeah, I mean, you and I have met, we've had a session, and we know what's going on with him. We know he has a parasite. And it's almost, it's because a lot of people ask me this, is there hope to save fill in the blank person? And, sorry to say it, but really no. it's a miracle if that can happen. I really consider that a miracle, especially, people that have the puppet master parasite or other parasites that really control their perception, because they can control their perception. They brainwash them. They live. This is when you have people in your life that rewrite history. They go, no, that didn't happen. That's not what, yeah, it did. But to them, it didn't, or it did, or whatever. And people start to realize, oh, it's not that they're lying. It's that they believe the lies. That's bonkers. They believe their own lies. How is that? And they do this again and again. And you can just see that their timeline isn't normal. Their perception of reality, their perception of everybody in their reality isn't normal. So they are triggered and activated to do things and say things and be and behave in certain ways that isn't normal. And it just, again and again and again, if you try to come in and say, this is what's going on with you, the very thing that is making that happen will make them reject that information. So it's really, 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 really hard to get somebody to understand that didn't get to a conscious place themselves. And a lot of times, even if they do, it's a real struggle for them. People call this mental illness. It's not. It's a mental infection of dark parasitic energy and entity possessing them to think that way. Period. And it's not their fault, which is the shittiest thing about it. You have to separate the parasite from the person. When you think about this, it really sucks, and it's really sad. And I have to deal with this quite a lot with people that come through to me, because everybody that I have yet to work with anybody that didn't have at least one, if not multiple people in their life that they had to come to terms with, that they needed to not have in their life anymore, because they couldn't save those people, and they needed to save themselves. I'm one of those people. So I know what it's like, and it sucks, and it hurts my heart every single time for my clients when they understand, when they come to this realization, and they do, because there's no other move to make. You either keep on with having this going on in your life, where this person's going to continue to take your energy and to create negative energy, and you to feel that, not only for the person, not only for you, but for anybody that's connected to that. Or you separate from that and you cut cords, and you don't have that constant bleed of energy and negative energy. Because as long as you have that going on, there is only so far you can go in your ascension and your evolution and your rebirth and your abilities and your highest possible timelines. Because if you're connected to that, I mean, that just makes sense, right? How could you? You can't. You can't. Bo says bingo. Bo is one of these people. And it sucks. It sucks. It sucks hard. Yes, you hit a brick wall. Yeah, you realize there's a door, and you can't take that person with you. You have to go yourself, because you cannot, they're effectively gone. It's an illusion. What you see in front of you, the person that you see in front of you, is an illusion. They're possessed. They're not the person you think they are. They're not sovereign. They're not. They just are not. And that's why it hurts so bad. Because it's such a mind twist fuck. That understanding and that realization, for it to really, 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 really sink in for you to understand. And this process can take months for the person involved in that to when they're really understanding it. People try to get away from their narcissistic abusers all the time, and they get sucked back in. Why? For many reasons. They're courted. They're psychically connected. They know exactly what to do to work you over because they're energetically and psychically connected to you. And I've had people say that to me before. It's like they know exactly what to do with me. And I'm like, yeah, it's because they know exactly what to do with you. They got your playbook, baby. So they're so good at it. They don't know why they're so good at it. But the thing attached to them knows exactly why they're so good at it, because they are what they are. That's what makes it so effective. And that's what makes it so impossible. And at some point we have to go, hit. At some point we have to go, yeah, I get it. I have to, it's a surrendering. It's the one place it's the you choosing you over other people, regardless of who they are. Choosing you, to save yourself. I always want people to save themselves. Obviously. Even though it sucks really hard. And like I said, I've been through it with people that I, wish I didn't have to do that with. My own son. I finally had to really come to terms with that. Me being me and knowing what I know, and that being a thing because of the abuse of his father, and that leading to him having a parasite and it shifting him when he was like 5, 6 years old, and me noticing a very drastic shift in my child. And at the time I was asleep. I did not understand. I just, he's changed because his dad has done what his dad has done and continues to do. It was hardcore parental alienation and really bad, not good business. Very, very not good. His dad was a narcissist, puppet master. I didn't know that either, obviously. I didn't even know what a narcissist was 30 years ago. We didn't talk about that then. So anyway, and my own mother and other boyfriends as well, and other friends as well, because narcissists attract empaths because at their core, they're the same thing. Just one was taken over by a parasite and one was not. But underneath, it's the same. And so because the parasite will shrink and show the world who this person really is, that attracts us to them. And then slowly they start to take over and then really do the bad shit. Nicole says, yes, my husband with the puppet master, and I remember events very different, always with it being my fault. Sure, that's the gaslighting. When we go, oh, they gaslight you. Well, it's because they're like rewriting history and making, and like in there, like to them, that's like, that's the reality. But it's not really. That's not the reality. That's what they think is the reality. They're convinced is the reality. And you can see it like, oh, they believe this. Like there's no like
realize like there's no point in having this argument about what happened when and who said what and who did who and blah, 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 because it's always going to be rewritten in a way that you're the wrong thing, or you're the one who did something wrong and they're the victim, and completely not to ever take responsibility, justify everything, all the while negative energy, negative energy, negative energy, negative energy. And you kind of realize like, oh, there's just no point in ever trying to talk sense into this person to get them to see reality, to see like to because, and it's so exhausting. It depletes your life force so much, which is exactly why they do it. Because the parasite wants your negative energy. And that's just the way that it is. Adrian says, so true. I had to, so true. I had to walk through that door. I know, it took a long time too. It took a really long time. But you finally made it. I'm so happy for you that you've made it, Adrian. It was a battle, wasn't it? And you can look back and go, that really was a fucking battle of light and dark, wasn't it? Yep, it sure was. Tasia. Oh, there's a bunch down here. Oh, we've got okay. Let me, what is this? Hold on a second. Yeah. Why is it? There we go. Let me do some cleanup here. You know, oh, and I've come to realize that this is what happens after I do lives, you guys. My replays will be flooded with spam from tarot readers and psychics to you guys. I apologize. I try to remove those. Sometimes they'll somehow get on my live, but then block me from seeing their comments, but I get a notification about their comments, so I'll have to like block them. So anyway, I apologize for that, you guys. So back to the show. Bo says, yep, they know where to hit you. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. And it's not just because they've been in a relationship with you. It's because their puppet master is psychically connected with you. Everything you're saying, Infinity, is so true. Yes, I know. And I wish it wasn't again. But thank you for the validation. I appreciate it. I'm single. Please, private. Okay, no. Let's get rid of this. Blocking users left and right. Okay. Okay. So anyway, it's important to go over this stuff. I know I've talked about it a lot and here and there. And if you've been around me for a long time, you've known we've talked about this. It's always a topic of conversation because we are in the spiritual war, and these are the things that are part of that. It's a very integral, like at the center of it, part of that there's these parasites that control people. It's called the puppet master parasite. Is literally that the person's a puppet. And that's not the only type of parasite. There's ones that are less sophisticated and ones that are even more sophisticated than that. Believe it or not. Adrian says, it was a long time and a struggle for me. Thank you, Infinity, for helping me. Oh, you're so welcome, honey. Yeah, you know, it is a struggle and it is hard because, you know, you love that person. You care about them. And their situation with what they've got going on is really difficult to accept. Definitely. I mean, even when before you know that consciously, it's hard to be in relationships with these people, to have them in your life. But then when you know what it is, and it doesn't, you know, it can be like, oh, that's what it is, and it still doesn't make it like, oh, okay, that's it's so easy to process and walk away from, and that it's just not. Like, I've seen a lot of people take a long time, months, years, to sometimes get away, to finally accept, like, there is no other move here. It's either I stay and I sink, or I walk away and I save myself. And that's a choice we all have to make for ourselves. Of course, like I said, I want everybody to choose themselves always. And I think that, and I always hope that eventually, when the time is right, when it's meant to happen, that it will. Sometimes it takes a few tries. Not everybody gets away from their narcissists on the first try. Not usually, actually. They don't usually let people go that easily. It's really actually unheard of, to be quite honest, because they're used to they like your energy. They like what they get from you. The parasite, put in a lot of work and effort to, have this connection and make this go. And make no mistake, even once you walk away from them, if you don't do an actual cord cutting, you're still psychically and energetically connected to them 100%. You may not be dealing with their crazy bullshit in your everyday life, but make no mistake, until you do a cord cutting from anybody, but especially, somebody like that, you are still going to be psychically and energetically connected to them months and years and decades later. 100%. Just you being out of proximity and not in the same timeline and not, talking to them, living or whatever, doesn't mean that they're not still connected to you, because they are. We all have energy cords to the people that that are in our lives, especially the more, familiar, or the more, whether they're, if they're, sexual partners, romantic partners, long-term friends, family members. But we have cords too. I have a cord with Chris, and I have a cord with Bo. We have cords with each other because we know each other. And even though we're not in everybody's lives, we have, we're cycling, we're connected. It's even like on that level. And especially for soul family, then that's a whole other story. And a lot of people that do get brought into my world are soul family. But I'm just putting out there, you guys, it is really, really important to take yourself through cord cutting, working with yourself on an energetic level to cut cords that are no longer needing to be connected to you. That is a shit ton of life force energy. And everybody has at least 10 to 15 plus cords that need to be cut, as well as cords that need to be reset with the people that you do want and have in your life. So there's different scenarios for cord cutting. People that you're actively separating from currently, people that have been separated from you at any given time, and then the people who are in your life that you want in your life, that you would do a cord reset because you have likely never done that. And resetting the energy cord is just like a restart on your computer. Everything clears things out, starts things fresh. All the apps can work better, right? Like, all things work better on whatever bug you got going on. So I've seen resets do some miraculous things with people in the relationship. So all of that is really important. And my group called the Unstoppable Empath course and group membership, which a few of you are already a part of here. I'm going to put the link for those of you that are not, that are interested in learning how to do this energy work for yourself, because you have to do so many. And it's really something you need to do for yourself. And I teach you how to do that. I support you through doing that. We have weekly meetings. We have a private Facebook group. You learn how to do this for yourself. It is critical as an empath, as a divine incarnate, as a light body, as a human being, to manage your energy cords. And it's a really amazing base. And it's the board for working with yourself energetically in a more sophisticated way through that, because that's like, I mean, just imagine like all of this energy, all your life force is compromised because of all of these cords. And there's many that, like I said, at least 8 to 10, 15 plus cords that people have that are running all the time, that you're energetically, psychically, emotionally connected to, running all the time, 24/7. That's a lot of life force energy. And as you cut those cords and as that life force energy comes back into the body, your vibration rises and things really start to shift in your world because of the raising of your vibration. As you raise your vibration, your reality shifts. You become more aware and things start, all the magic. So check that out if you haven't already. You can start at any time and read all about it. Okay. So now I want us to, I said we were going to work with my pendulum, because the pendulum, and I have a few here. This is my jade. It's an epoxy, and there's pieces of jade and brass and clear crystal quartz. And I don't know if you can see that. This little spiral of copper there. This is my most recent pendulum, and the one I really, really like it. I do have this one I've had forever. It's really pretty. It's a rose quartz faceted crystal pendulum that I also really love. But I like my new one. It's fun. I'm going to work here. Or maybe not. Hey, and can you guys tell me, has there been glitching or me cutting out at all in this live? Please let me know. Where is, okay, maybe my camera is not going to, oh, there we go. Okay, hold on here for me. Okay, we're going to go out, and just so you guys, oh, I'm going to fix some of this. I am really blown out here with the light because it's gotten darker. So let me adjust this. Okay. And let me fix this a little bit. You guys can see. Laura, my love. Oops. There we go. I'm joining late because I worked 14 hours today, girl. But I will watch what I missed. Oh, good. It's so good to see you here, Laura Lev. I'm glad you made it. 14 hours. Holy moly, girl. That's a long day. Yes, always for me. Oh, not sure what you meant by that. Not by choice. Yeah, I bet. Not sure what you meant by that, though. Yes, always for me. Sorry. Yeah. You want to clarify? Yeah, not by choice. I bet. Okay. So I told you that we were going to work with my pendulum. This is something I like to do. I work with a pendulum. I've done it in lives before. Oh, it glitches. Thanks. Oh, okay. It's glitching. Okay. Let me see here. And I guess it happened recently with the 7/7 Stargate when I was doing the spirit walk. I apologize for that. It's really hard, it's like I am going to get a new computer soon, so maybe my RAM will work better because my internet is pretty amazing. I do have Starlink. Let me tell you guys, Starlink internet is really good. It's really, really good. So if it's anything, it's most likely, it could just be energy, could be forces of, even light, even when we're doing spirit walks and there's these, glitches and those things happen, do your best to not let it bother you, roll with it. If anything, pay attention to when that might happen, or if there's a chime or a bell or a ring on a phone or anything else that happens with that. Sometimes those are timely and those are, actually light based. Nothing that you're going to experience in one of my is going to be dark based, but you know, if you get frustrated, it's just going to make it worse. So try not to get frustrated with that. But anyway, okay, so here I am with my pendulum. Ideally, I would have my elbow on the table, but I can hold it nice and straight. So this is just the neutral here, right? Neutral going back and forth, and it definitely gets really excited with my energy. Sometimes you'll even see it like pop, like do that thing where it jumps because it's being lifted like so high that it'll do this like jump thing. But as you can see, I'm just holding it. I'm holding it very straight and not, you know, forcing it to move back and forth. And you'll notice it'll just start going faster and faster as I connect and engage with it. I do get the yawns when I start to connect with my divine counterparts. And that's the thing. It should get better here soon. So this is the way it works. It's okay. So there we go. As you can see, I'm holding it as straight as or as still as I possibly can. This is the neutral. But let me show you what the yes is. So we'll ask it a question that we know the answer to. And the way that the pendulum works is that it's sending vibrations through my body that's forcing it to go in one direction or the other, and meaning yes or no. Now we have to pose questions to the pendulum in a yes or no form. That is very important. And I get the information from my get the information from my highest self, which knows the truth about everything. So it's not from me, it's coming through me. Now I could just ask questions and it can come through me and I could get it and I can answer. I don't need, like I said earlier, I don't need this, but it's fun. And you can see it. And I've learned that when I'm with my clients and they have questions about stuff, that it's just a neat thing for, instead of me just going, okay, let me tap in. Okay, yes. Okay, no. Okay, this. Okay, that. It keeps things very clear and very understood what the answer is. And sometimes just mentally receiving things can get a little, I don't know, depending on things. It's like, I mean, there's times where I'm like, let's just go to the pendulum for a moment. So I'm going to show you how this works here. So here we go. I'm going to ask a question that we all know the answer to, so we can see how this works. And I will have to kind of go out like this so I don't get hit in the face. And you'll see as it starts to spin, like maybe the microphone will get hit because it goes really, really intensely when it starts to go. Sometimes it'll go completely vertical if I let it. I don't usually let it go that far because why? But sometimes it's just kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. So we're going to ask the question. On topic. Was there an assassination attempt on Donald Trump on Saturday? Yes or no? Hey, Michelle. Yes or no? Was there an assassination? That word is hard. Assassination attempt on Donald Trump this past Saturday. So when it starts to go big like it is, it will start to, it takes a minute or so, or a few seconds before it starts to move in a direction because it's spinning so much, because it's going back and forth so strongly. But as you can see, it's starting to go yes, and then it's almost hitting my microphone, and then it'll start to, I'll have to go like this so I'm not in the way with my arm, quite literally. And eventually here, it will do the circle thing. And it's just because there's so much inertia going on that it that it has a hard time before it finally does it. So like I said, it gets really big. And as you can see, I'm not doing this myself. So we got a hard yes here on was there an assassination attempt on Donald Trump. So let's go back to neutral. Let's disengage from that question. We're going to go back. I'm just going to show you the whole process here if I don't stop it myself. It does take a little longer, but I just want to show you all what will happen without me moving it. I've been very still. Again, I'm not, and I'm holding it by this little ball here. See this little ball? I'm holding it with that. I'm not holding the actual chain that has a knot in it. And I can't get it out. It drives me nuts. But anyway, I'm holding it from the ball. And I'm just holding it from the ball. Okay, so let's ask another question. Was there more than one person that knew about this assassination attempt on Donald Trump on Saturday? Was there more than one person? Oh, it's starting to go yes real quick here, as you can see. Yes. And again, it would just do that same thing, taking its time to go around. But as you can see, I'm trying to hold it. It's making me move. Let's just get that clear. I'm not moving it. It is moving me. But we are getting a yes, which is, I think, most of us already knew. There was more than just the one person, this lone assassin or would-be assassin, attempted assassin, involved in this. So there's our yes. Now, you can believe what you see or not. I fully believe in my pendulum. It's never been wrong. So, more than one person. Please feel free. Bring me your questions. What do you want to know about this situation? Not about you personally. I'm not doing personal pendulum readings right now. Please don't ask for personal pendulum readings right now. At another point in time, I will be doing pendulum readings, which are fun. They're yes or no. They do quicker than my oracle readings. And you get very clear answers, as you can see. But please feel free to bring me questions about this situation. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Feel free to bring me questions about this. In the meantime, I will think of my own question to ask, or I will be prompted to have my own question here. But definitely feel free, if it's on topic here about this situation, to ask. Pop it in the comments. I do not know, actually. Let me get on. I forget about X because A, I'm new to X. I don't always think about it. And B, it doesn't do the normal thing that why can't I get to my profile here? What the heck? I want to go. There we go. X wouldn't get to my profile. Okay. So if anybody is watching on X, and you want to pose a question for the pendulum, put a comment in. I will go back and forth, but unfortunately on X, any comments doesn't show up on my platform here on StreamYard. So I will check back there if there's people who want to participate and ask questions. Otherwise, and I do believe the bulk of you are actually on, most of you are on X. So if you want to pose a question, those of you watching Please just go to, you can join me on Facebook or what is it? YouTube. And let me, yeah, it's a totally different thing on. Nobody has questions for the pendulum. I'm surprised. I thought you guys would be inundating me with questions. Nobody has a question? Really? Okay. But I do want to, there we go. I'm going to drop this in on X. There's YouTube, and then let me give you Facebook. And you can either put comments on X or just come to Facebook or YouTube, where you can actually watch the live and interact through the comments, and I can see it here on my screen. But I'm going to share here. I meant to do this earlier. So pasting the Facebook and the YouTube for those of you on X who may want to join and ask questions. Let's see what Nicole says here. Was Secret Service compromised? Michelle, hi. Well, Trump, okay, we have questions coming. Was this a one-time event? Okay, so let's start here with Nicole with Secret Service. That was going to be my next question, actually. Was Secret Service involved? But I like your question. Like the way you posed it. Was Secret Service compromised? That's a great question. I think yes, but let's see what the Oracle says. So, or not the Oracle, the Pendulum. Whew. Was Secret Service compromised when it came to this assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump on Saturday? Was Secret Service compromised? Oh, we're getting a hard and fast and big yes. Whoa. Whoa. Look at this. Oh, yeah. And this happens. There's times like it'll be, look at it, look at this. Conk, conk. Where the yeses are more intense. And even the no's will be more intense. But as far as intensity goes for a question and an answer, this is as good as you're going to get here with a positive answer. The question was Secret Service compromised in the assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump on Saturday? And it continues to go hard and yes. So there we go. Michelle, will Trump win after this? Will this contribute? Well, that's just kind of, oh, my third eye is itching now. Bear with me, guys. It used to only itch me in the back of my head. And over the last couple months, now I get it in the front of my head, literally right on my third, right where that third eye is. Very itchy. When I have asked this question before, the answer was no. No Biden, no Trump, yes, Bobby Kennedy. But let's do it again. I haven't done this in a while because I haven't felt anything change. A lot of people felt that things changed because of this, and now he's going to have so much more support, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Will Donald J. Trump win the election this year to be president? No. Really quick no. Really quick no. Wow, look at that. that did not change. So just for shiggles, let's do Robert. So everybody here can see it, because I've talked about this. I did this in private. I've never done this in person. I did this with Ryan months ago when he was asking these questions. And hope you don't mind me sharing that, Ryan. I don't think you do. But I have talked about it. My third eye is making my nose run too. Bear with me. I didn't bring any tissue. Where would I have tissue? My third eye, but all this is making my third eye activate and run. So let's do this. Let's ask for, so we already asked and answered. We had a yes for Secret Service involvement. We had a no on Trump winning. I want to pop in with my own one now because it's relevant. Like I said, in the past, what I've gotten just through my visions, not just from the pendulum, but through visions as well, was that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was the winner, because we had posed it, which is going to win, Democrats or Republicans, and it was neither. It was a no on both. And then I said, wait a minute, there is another choice here. And when I posed it, that's when we got the positive. So anyway, just so you know the history here, from when we've asked this before. So let's do it. Oh, wow. Here we go. Is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. going to win or the election for president of the United States in 2024? Oh, it's going another big one. Whoa. And it's going yes. There it goes. Another big one. It hits my arm, hits the microphone. Oh my God. Let me get out of the way here. Same question. It's continuing, going yes here. So it's just going to continue to go around as steady as I hold it by the ball. It's going yes. So that has not changed for those of you who were thinking, oh, now it's over. Trump is going to win. There's all this support behind him since he escaped this assassination, this attempt. Apparently that has not shifted the timeline to make it so he wins. I didn't think it did. I didn't feel that shift. So now we see that. Was this a one-time event? Okay, so I think what you mean, the question is, will there be future attempts on Donald J. Trump's life in the campaign? It's good to have a time frame here when we're asking, because that could be very open-ended, right? So, I mean, it's good to know that no matter what, but I think we should keep it to a certain time frame. We want to know, how about this question? Will there be another attempt on Donald J. Trump's life during the campaign? Let's do that. Okay, so reset here. New question for the pendulum. Will there be another real and serious attempt on, or assassination attempt during the campaign on Donald Trump? We got a no coming here. We got a no. Real quick no. Real quick no. Okay. Interesting. That's good to know. Maybe one was enough. They're not going to try that again. They didn't succeed. Good question. Good question. Okay, let's see what Bo says here. I have a hard time even believing they were Secret Service. Well, many of them weren't, actually. What turns out, and this has been reported, is that many of the Secret Service that were with Donald Trump that day were actually Homeland Security agents, and they are not actually full-fledged Secret Service. That has been apparently, if anybody knows that I'm wrong with that, please let me know. But that was the last thing that I saw that was verified, that came out. That was very interesting. I've been doing mine right along and same answers. I've also asked on my own and same answers. Okay, very cool. Very, very cool. Bingo. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So a lot of them weren't. I do think it's really shitty, just sidebar people. I think it's really shitty that these women are getting completely shit on. If you've seen that, there are these, whether you're Secret Service agents or Homeland Security, whoever they were, there's the three, I counted three. There's maybe four. There's the one who had a hard time holstering her gun, and they're like all looking around, they're asking what's going on or whatever when they're getting, and this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. This is like one of those facets, like, oh, let's just like negative energy this in a way that's like, so now we're targeting the women that were there. And I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure there's been a man or two that in a high stress situation didn't holster his gun perfectly the first time. Like, I just have issue with that. It triggers me, and I hate being triggered, but it is what it is. I'm just like, what? How is it their fault? Like, Trump obviously didn't allowed this to be. It's not like he said get rid of all the women. People are calling this like all DEI stuff, and there shouldn't be women in Secret Service, and whether there should be or shouldn't be. I mean, women could go be on the front lines in war. That's okay. I don't know. There just seems to be a lot of, double standards here. And it really unfair in the way I see it, very unfair that they're, singling out these, these women. I just got to say that. I think that's really shitty. And I hope nobody here is doing that. There's just been a lot of it. So yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Let's see if any come to me here. Let's see what Bo says. There is a huge difference between Secret Service and Homeland Security. Absolutely. Big time. Big time. Absolutely. It's like saying there's a difference between Navy SEALs and Marines, or right, whatever. Like there's levels to this, and that is a big difference. But and we don't know exactly like if these women were with Secret Service or with Homeland Security. The director of the Secret Service is a female herself. So yeah. And I just think it's just really it's her fault. Like it's this lady's fault. Like everybody's like, she shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there. It's like, look at how like chaotic and whatever that, it's just all this complete shit talking on these women. All this slinging shit at these ladies. Like it's their fault. It's like, please, come on. And even though we know the Secret Service, we got the answer. Secret Service was compromised, was part of it. Like I said earlier, it doesn't mean all of them, right? You don't need and when they have some inside, there's some help with an inside person or what, it could be one person. Maybe that's a question to ask. How many? Yeah, blame. That's the workload. Blame. Yeah, I know. It's just like, can we not? Like, it's not these ladies' fault. Like, come on. They're doing the best that they can. Like, can you imagine being in that situation? Even with all the training, that's intense. That is really, really, really intense. But maybe that's a question to ask. How many people helped? Because we already got the answer. He was not acting alone. And before my pendulum and before this live started, many people already came to that conclusion. Many. Of course, the Secret Service is going to say no to that. They're not going to go, well, maybe we're compromised, or yes, definitely. We're talking to people, we're investigating, because this is a complete shit show. Of course, they're not going to say that. It's a complete shit show, like on so many levels. And again, back to Bobby, I'm like, when my hackles go up, I wish people would pay attention. I do not feel that he is safer with Secret Service. I could go off on that. So let's not. I've already talked about that. I don't like feeling the negative energy, and me, I don't feel at the same time, I don't feel like, and there is, that would be another question about any attempts for Bobby. Because I don't get that. He's going to win the presidency. So, not that I feel that there is going to be an attempt on his life. I just very much feel that the Secret Service really cannot be trusted in the way that we would like them to be trusted, because there is compromise there. And there is a lot of darkness that is attached to the current administration, that this candidate cannot shift and change the people around him to have a different order of personnel that are looking after him. You see what I'm saying? So, that's a problem. And within his own campaign, different story. But when we go outside of that, so now he's bringing in outside people. Those are the secret. Now he's going to get Secret Service protection. Oh, hallelujah. He's been asking for 15 months. He's been rejected over and over again. And then all of a sudden, Trump gets shot at. And now, in light of the current events, Mayorkas says today, fuck you, Mayorkas. Seriously. We needed this. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Blessing in disguise, blessing in disguise. He doesn't need people around him that are not fully with him. He just doesn't. Okay, but anyway. I think what we should ask is, let's start here. Are there more than 5 people? Okay, were there more than 5 people? Were there more than 5 people involved in this assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump from those that would be considered on the inside? That's a really long question, but it doesn't matter. We know the intent here. More than 5 people is the question. Are there more than 5 people? Yes. Oh, wow. I actually expected that to go no. I honestly expected that to go no, because that seems like a lot of people. Interesting. It continues to go yes in a big, hitting my arm. Going yes in a big way here. More than 5 people that knew about this. Whoa. Okay, so then that means we got to go more than that. Is there more than 10? There are more than 10 people who were involved in this assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump. More than 10 people. Ooh. Oh my God. Yes? It's going yes. Oh, that surprises me. Even more. More than 10? Oh gosh. Whew. Oh. That was definitely a thing. I'm feeling this real intense. Just give me a second here. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Just feeling some real lower energy vibes going straight into my heart chakra. This can happen when you're live and broadcasting to the world. Many people are, I open myself up and there can be psychic attack. So just give me a second. Sometimes it's literally what's wild is that there will be dark influenced psychics. So let me just put it like that. Who find me and attempt to take from my life force and think I won't know it. Think I won't feel it. I feel it. And if anybody does that too, you will feel it in the chest, right in the heart chakra, because that's where they're taking your energy from. Your heart center is your most powerful center in your energy center in your body, even more than your brain or your third eye. It is your heart. And if somebody is actively, consciously trying to pull your life force and disrupt you, they will be taking from your heart center. And I've had it happen to me many times, or attempted to have. It's like an attempted assassination. You tried, not going to work because I'm going to feel it right away. And I felt it right away and I had to take care of it. So, but it literally feels, it'll either feel like a hollow opening, gaping feeling in your chest, which feels really weird, or it'll feel like a sharp pain. It's just one of the things. I mean, this can happen with anybody. It's happened with me in person with somebody, with a couple of actually, when they're actively trying to siphon from me, thinking I wouldn't know it. But it happens online. It can happen online, obviously, because I'm opening up myself to the world, essentially. And people who, energy workers, dark energy workers, psychics and stuff will attempt to take from my energy, and they can't, but I'll feel that they're trying. So anyway, that's what that was all about. Were these other people who helped also infected by parasites? Oh, well, yeah, that's a yes. I can tell you that is a yes right now. Still glitchy, just a few seconds in and out. Okay, sorry about that. Let me see if there's anything else I can do here. I thought I closed everything. Let me close as much as possible because I really feel like it's my RAMs. I don't need these open anymore. Thanks for telling me. Okay. Hey, Jason. So yeah, Nicole, that is a yes. I mean, that is an absolute yes. We know that anybody that is going to attempt or be a part of this group is going to be or have a parasite. Um, okay, I already did that. Can it happen to you when you're alone? Yes, you can get psychically attacked at any time. Yeah. It's just more likely that it happens when you're opened up. But it can happen anytime. You don't have to be around anybody to be psychically attacked by somebody. And psychic attack, just so you're aware, or just to clarify, psychic attack can also be you're just thinking very negatively about somebody. You're hating on somebody. That is psychic attack. You're sending negative energy to somebody. It doesn't have to be all with, black books and fire and and really wanting to siphon energy. So psychic attack happens in a lot of ways, and a lot of times it's not conscious that we are being a part of psychic attack, or somebody is psychically attacking us, meaning to psychically attack us. But then there's the conscious psychic attack. So there's both. So just remember, anytime you're thinking negative thoughts about somebody, throwing shade or talking shit or being angry, and it's directed at somebody, whether you know them personally or not, you're contributing to psychic attack and lower level energies, and you are cycling at a lower frequency when you're doing that. That's why any kind of complaining or shit talking or just being negative in general is psychic attack and is bad for your vibration because of what you're doing, what you're focusing in on. This is why it feels good to send love and light. Oh, I feel so good. It opens up my heart. Feels so good sending love and light. Gold, gold, gold. It feels fantastic. But we feel shitty when we're feeling shitty. It's like shit feeling. It's because that's a real thing. I'm okay. I can handle it. I've had way worse attempted on me than that. I feel it. Like other people would just get really tired. You may just get really tired. You may yawn a lot. You may get chills, get cold, start sneezing. These are all things that can happen when somebody's trying to siphon your energy, whether it's conscious or not. Or you'll literally feel a hollowness in the heart chakra. That is definitely a thing. Hey, beautiful. I've definitely felt it before. Yeah, it sucks. It can feel like other things. It can even feel like an asthma attack or a panic attack. That can be a psychic attack, just so you guys know. Nicole says, can I ask what you did just now when the attack hit? It's a good question. And then we'll get back to the questions at hand. I think my dogs want to go out though. Let me see, what time is it? You guys want to go outside? Yes. 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second. Come on, guys. Here you go, babies. Here you go. Oh. I need to walk the sun here. 1 second. The sun comes through my sliding glass door and hits, like, as it gets later in the summer, it's going to get higher and higher. But for right now, it's just like sun coming in really warms things up. Okay, so to answer your question, I just reestablished my field, connected to my own field, and cut off whatever. It's not important to me who it is, where they are, what they're doing, what they're not. I know they're trying to pull in and take from my life force. And it's just basically just tapping with my guides and guardians, my guardian angel, just me being conscious. It's important. And so it's just basically creating this field around me, just reconnecting to that and reestablishing that, because it was breached. It was. Like I said earlier, we're not meant to be fully closed off. It's not, we need it. If we are fully closed off, then it negates the whole like feeling and knowing thing. And we need that, but we don't need to be fully open all the time, but just a little crack. We need to be like 98% closed off and just a little crack open. And, but through that little crack, things can come, and we want things to come. But when they're nefarious or when they're dark or things like that, we want to know that, be conscious of that. So then we can work with you, just tap in with your energy field, tap in with your divine essence, with your life force. Think about all the energy around you. Visualize light and bright white light. Connect with your guardian angel, and reestablish your energetic boundaries. As you can see, long. But I really needed to focus and do that so I could cut that off. But yeah, it hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Felt like I was getting stabbed right in the heart. Yeah, you saw me. Like it was boom, boom, boom. It was a few of them. Didn't feel great. But I'm okay. It's no big deal. I'm used to it. Especially when we're talking about stuff like this, people are going to want to interrupt. Okay, so I was surprised on the last question that we got there. When we got the answer, were there more than 10? I didn't expect more than 5. I certainly did not expect more than 10, because as we know, the more people that know about plans, especially an assassination attempt, that gets, I would imagine, a little bit more dicey. But at the same time, you would think that, okay, maybe something like this, yeah, maybe more than 10 people would need to be involved. I don't know. But when we think, lone gunman, clearly that's not the case. So let's continue. We know it's more than 10. Let's see if it's more than 20, and then we'll work our way back down. So back to original scheduled programming here. Was there more than 20 people involved in the assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump this Saturday? I think it's already going no. Okay, it's already going no. So not more than 20. Okay, but it is pretty. That is a definite no. So we have between 10 and 20 people that are involved in that. I don't want to spend the time going through each one, but we know that it's somewhere in there. Maybe do one last. Was it more than 15? And then we'll know it's between 10 and 15, or between 15 and 20, just to get a little bit more accurate here. So was there more than 15 people involved in the assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump on Saturday? No. It's going no. If you can see that, I'll feel it before you can really see it, but it's going no. So it's between 10 and 15 people. Still, wow, that's a lot. So, now I'm getting this other question to ask. It's a heavy one, but I think it's a good one to ask, just to know. It's a good one to ask. It's really okay. I'm being guided to ask this question, okay? Did President Biden and his immediate staff know about this assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump? Let's see what we get here. Did President Biden know about this assassination attempt? Did his staff, people closest to him, no. Okay. That's good to know. Got a no there. So not known by the current president or his immediate staff. But we do know that the Secret Service was compromised. So it's somewhere in there. So what would be the next logical question here? We know him and his immediate staff not involved, which is really nice to know. I didn't think so, but it came through. So I don't know if somebody was thinking that, but it came through to ask. So then what would be next? Was it mostly planned? Was it mostly with people outside of the government? Because it could just be one or two or three, maybe people inside, but the bulk maybe more outside. Yeah, let's ask that question. And nothing else is coming to me. Nicole says, wow, great question. Yeah, I think it is a great question. Just popped into my head. So let's continue on this line and ask, because we already got the answer to the Secret Service. We asked, were their Secret Service involved? Were they compromised? We got a yes, unfortunately. I mean, that in itself has, huge implications, but it's, I don't think, a surprise. But what I am curious about, since it is giving us a number, we are getting a number between 10 and 15 people who were aware of this. So this question is coming through. Ooh, this is a good one. I like it. Oh, I do and I don't like it. It's like, oh, do I want to know? Of course I do, but it sucks. Okay, here we go. Were other law enforcement agencies compromised in this assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump on Saturday? Were other law enforcement agencies compromised in this assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump on Saturday? Oh, it's going yes. Okay, it's going yes. So, yeah, it's going yes. That makes more sense. In a real shitty way. But it makes more sense, I think. Yeah, it does, right? And there we got the answer. Chris says logic says yes. Sadly, I agree. Totally. It's not the answers that we want. Right? It's not the answers that we want. But they are the answers that do make the most sense. Just because there were multiple departments there. Yeah, agreed. And apparently, the other agencies or the local, or I'm not sure exactly, I really don't know, but we do know that it was beyond Secret Service. We do know, obviously, there was Homeland Security. We do know that there were police, but within police, because they could have multiple agencies there, multiple districts. I don't know. That gets into the weeds a little bit, but we are getting the affirmative that there was law enforcement involved. Which definitely makes sense. Is there any other questions you guys can think of that you would want to know about this? I think that we've covered the things that make sense to ask questions and to get the answers of, and we've gotten very clear answers so far, as usual. Let's see if anything else is coming to me. So we know, let's just review for now and see if anything else comes up. Let's see. Nicole says, he shot multiple rounds and missed. Oh, you want to know if it was okay? That's sure. Let's ask that. I don't think so, Adrian. Adrian is saying, did Donald Trump himself plan it? I have not picked up on that at all. But let's ask the pendulum. And then Nicole here says, he shot multiple rounds and missed intervention. Like, yeah, I felt that. We can ask, but I did feel that right away. It was something that actually Katia and I talked about, because like I said, we had that session together right afterwards. I actually was the one who broke it to him about what was going on. But the divine intervention, I did feel at the time, and we did talk about that that's what it felt like to me, that there was that divine intervention, so he would not be assassinated, because obviously, why would the light want that? And the light would do everything in their power to and this doesn't mean that and there isn't divine intervention over something, or killing and murdering, an assassination, that the light isn't there. There's only so much that the light can do, and every situation is different. I saw somebody say, oh God, thank God that, it was divine intervention. Somebody was saying that on Twitter. And then this person said, oh, well, my daughter was killed in some situation. Does that mean that God didn't love her? And it was like, what? There's a twister for you. So let's just check. But I felt that from the very beginning, but let's just check. Was it divine intervention that President Trump did not actually, he did technically get shot in the ear, but, was it divine intervention that he was not successfully assassinated? Was it divine intervention? Oh, this is, whoa, hit me in the face. Whoa, look at this. Oh, this is going big time. Yes. Do you see that? It gets so crazy erratic. Like I told you, sometimes it's a bigger yes or whatever, but it's so so we have a yes. Hopefully you guys all got that. I had a feeling it was a yes from the very beginning. Like I said, Katia and I talked about that. We both felt it like, oh yeah, that was definitely a thing. Because literally, if you listen to what happened, he's talking about whatever. And then he goes, you know what? Do you mind if I go off script? He just got this out of nowhere talking and went, I want to go off script. Do you mind if I go off script? And then turned his head to look at his people to ask if they had some charge or something. And that's when the bullet, have you guys seen that picture of the bullet going through the air right past him? Wild. So we did get an affirmative. Yes, it was divine intervention. I felt it. And I'm so glad. And let me just say for the record, I'm so glad, so happy. I was so relieved when, like I said earlier, I was like, oh my God. And I was just like this feeling of relief that it did not happen, that he was not murdered, he was not assassinated, was huge within me. And there are miracles, and I've had 7 of my own near-death experiences to different degrees. I have felt divine intervention save my life. It is definitely a thing. When it's not your time, it's not your time, period. End of story. I like to think his guardian angel was majority on point. Turn his head. Sure. Yeah. I mean, that is their point. I agree. And
people with parasites definitely still have guardian angels. That doesn't make that go away. But yeah, I 100% agree. Katir says, I believe divine intervention as well. Yes. Yeah, we talked about it at the time. You and I both felt it. Like, yeah, that was definitely divine intervention. Did you guys see the video and the pictures and stuff of how the American flag was wrapped up and it looked, a lot of people were saying it looked like an angel, and then they untwisted it before he came out? I mean, it gives me like the goosebumps. It's like, whoa. Was someone from his party involved? Okay. Let's go back. I like that question. Let's go back to Adrian's. Adrian's question was, did Donald Trump himself plan it? Like I said, I don't think so, but let's see what the pendulum says. Whew. All right, hold on. It's a thing. I have to yawn. Thanks for the likes and the loves, everybody. Appreciate you. Okay, so was Donald J. Trump himself involved in this? What is this? In this, was Donald J. Trump involved in this experience? And I don't even know what to call it. In this attempt. It would be an assassination attempt if he was actually involved in it, but I really don't think so. But people have said a lot of things, like he could have had something on his ear that cut him, and it could be all staged and all these things. I don't think so. But let's see. Was Donald J. Trump aware of what was going to happen on Saturday with the shooter? Let's just say that. Was Donald J. Trump himself aware? Whoa, this is a big, see it going, you see that? Starts to jump and it's going no. Okay, so there we go. No, I didn't think so either. So we got a no on that. Which again, thank goodness. I mean, that would be taken it to a whole other level, right? Chris says, I like to think, I like to think that Guardian Angel is the majority on point of turn head now. Agreed. Okay, let's go here. Michelle says, was someone from his party involved? Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that is a good one. Oof. Was someone from Donald J. Trump's party involved in this assassination attempt? Oh my gosh, it's going yes, you guys. Whoa. Let's just let that sink in. Wow. Let's just do that again just to make sure. Let me ask it a little bit different. Just a little bit different, because that's pretty broad, right? Was, party? It's pretty broad. So let's ask this. Was anybody in his campaign involved? Let's ask that question. Was anyone in Donald J. Trump's campaign involved in the assassination attempt? I think it's going yes, you guys. It's hitting me in the face really big, and it's going yes. Oh my goodness. That's a yes. Do you guys need to see it go all the way? I usually stop it because it just keeps. It was going yes. Anyone in Donald J. Trump's own campaign involved in this assassination attempt? Let's see it. Yes, it's going yes again.
It's going to start going around. I'm in a habit of stopping it because it's like my arm gets tired after I do this for a while, and I know it's going yes, so I don't need to see it do all this. But maybe you do. That's a big fat yes. Wow. Let's just let that sink in. What the implications of that is. I do have a follow-up question. And let's get to Laura here really quick. I've been wondering also if you planned a failed attempt to gain support. Yeah, you could. Seems crazy, but crazy kind of tracks with Trump. I agree. I mean, I didn't think he knew. So we get that he didn't know, but somebody or people in his campaign did. Now, here's the question. Was it meant to be, like Laura just said, was it meant to be an actual killing or the appearance of a killing? And do from the people who orchestrated, from the people in the campaign, you see what I'm saying? Like, so they could have known about it, orchestrated it with the idea of actually, let's not kill him. But that's, like you said, that's, whew. Yeah, Katir says the angels will move your body. Yes, they will. They can. I was telling Katir the other day, I was on a bridge at this one house that I lived at. And it wasn't like, there was just like a little creek thing that went into a pond and there was all these rocks. But it wasn't a far fall, but it was enough that like, from getting your head cracked open when you fall. And I fully, you guys, one of my near-death experiences. One that I definitely, I mean, I don't know that I could have, it wasn't like, oh, I almost died, or it was on the operating table, or I was, I didn't have a pulse. It wasn't that kind of near-death. It was the kind of thing where like you could be hurt or killed kind of thing. I've had several of those. And I lost my balance. There's no railing or anything because it's literally like right there. But if you're standing like on the edge, and you lose your balance and you start to go back like this, like I was head first going back on all of these big sharp rocks that were in the creek. And I went to one of the, I was at the point of no return. Let me just put it this way. I was vertical, and then I lost my balance and I started to fall, and I was back, and I felt my guardian angel literally push me back up on that bridge. It was like a hand on my back. Like, no, you don't. I've had several things like this where one was a car accident that was like amazing. Like I would have been toast. But I was guided to get out of the way at the last second. And that's a whole, whew. There's been a few. So yeah, they can definitely manipulate us, our bodies, and get us to they are our guardian angels. They're there for a reason. It does happen. Good night, Bona. Hello or good night. Okay. Sorry, okay. Bo says this whole thing is just suspicious. Innocent being killed and hurt, but dude hit his itty bitty little ear. His own supporters were reporting shooter on the roof. Yeah, I know. That's what's so like. Yeah, agreed. It's there's all sorts of yeah. She went to himself for that to plan a fake assassination. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, we already got the answer on that. He didn't know about this himself, but we did get the answer that somebody or people in his campaign did know, or were part of the planning of it. But the question that I have was it meant to? I mean, maybe they weren't even meant to get that close. Like maybe I don't know. But let's see here. I do want to ask for the people who knew. Did they intend to kill him? I think that's a good question. Or was it just supposed to be like, oh, drama to get support, like Laura said, right? So we know he wasn't involved in it, which I already knew he wasn't. But so were the people who were involved, the people in his campaign that were involved, did they intend to kill him? Oh, it's going big again. But which way is it going? I do not know. Oh, it's going no. It's bouncing like crazy town, but it's going no. Okay, so inside job, Trump didn't know. Up to 15 people knew. A lot of people. But I guess that many would need to, right? And was not intending to actually kill him. But he did get that shot in the head. I mean, the ear. Wow. So, wow. Wow. I feel, and I'm getting more now than I have before, and let me know, chime in if you guys feel the same. Chime in if you guys feel the same. But I feel like and obviously, I think maybe this is obvious, but what's coming through now is that there is way more strings attached here than we're understanding right now. Like the more we're getting, the more I'm like, wow. Okay. But have they released pics of his ear after the fact? I don't think so. I have not seen those. And I have been kind of up and down Twitter a few times today, except for the time where I was in a coma for a couple hours. But no, I'm pretty certain that they have not. Jason, do the dark parasites try to something power from each other? No, they don't. They don't even you can find narcissists together, but they don't, because they're cycling negative energy. I think what you're asking is, do they take from themselves? They work together. They can work together, the parasites, to get people to do things. Obviously, we have to understand, for all of these people that are involved in something like this, is very dark. All of it's dark, whether it was meant to be a real assassination or if it was a setup to appear like a real assassination. There's people involved, not including Trump, that knew about this. All of those people, dark side parasites, and being controlled in their behavior is 100% the situation. But taking power from each other, no, they don't do that. Gasp, she says, I know. Was someone in a where the attempt? Ooh, Christy, you're going. Now we're going there. Christy, what did Laura say here? Come on. Why don't you? There we go. Finally, Laura says, that's a good question. Yeah. These are good questions. These are all great questions. Again, thanks for everybody being here with me. I love you all. You guys are the shit. Okay, so was Christy's question, was someone in his own family aware of this? Well, see, now we know it wasn't really an attempt. It was a inside, not everybody knows, orchestrated thing. Craziness, she said. Boss says, Melania. LOL, she's that poor woman. I really do feel for her. I really do. I do. You're so funny, Bo. You crack me up. Craziness, Nicole says. Laura says, I meant that for the question about if it was intended to kill him, but it's applicable. Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, I hear you. Okay, so what we're gonna ask is, was a member, were people in his family, right? Or someone, let's just open it up a little bit more. Were people, okay, we'll leave it at a someone. Fine, we'll start there. Good Lord. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. That's my feels that I'm getting, but let's tap in and ask here. Oh God, sorry guys. Like with each new question, I almost have to do a whole like reconnect yawn thing. Okay. Oh my God. Was someone in Donald J. Trump's family, immediate family, involved and knew about this? Oh, I'm not even finishing the question. It's going no. Okay. We see that nice and clearly here. That's a no. Okay, that makes me feel better. I didn't think so. I'm really glad that he and none of his family were involved in this. I think that players outside that have a stake in him winning, that wanted to give him a big boost, and it obviously did. This has dominated the world for the most part. It's taken, it went from the story for a couple of weeks now since the debate was Biden and his competency, his mental acuity. Couldn't he do it? Is he going to drop out? Who's going to replace him? Blah, 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 blah. Hammering with this. And then now we come in with this whole situation that happened on Saturday. Now, obviously, this is the dominant conversation and news story. It did absolutely get him a shit ton of support. Within moments, it seemed Elon was endorsing him. Other people were endorsing him. To me, that's like wild. It's like, oh, so for all these months, you don't endorse him. And then there's this attack on his life apparently. And now we're endorsing him. Now we're voting for him. It's just, I find that just wild. Okay. Was there other, let me see what I missed. Okay, so we know now quite a few things. Up to 15 people, not his family, not him. Secret Service compromised, law enforcement compromised. Have I missed anything? Biden didn't know. His administration didn't know. Why would they? That all makes sense now, right? Why would Biden's people know if it was put on by Trump? Or Trump's people, not Trump, but Trump's people. So that makes sense. This is all making sense, isn't it? It's all coming together. It's all making sense. And I'm glad that we're here, you guys. Thank you so much for being here, for participating and doing this with me. Like what I channeled earlier from the High Council was that we hope that this is going to help settle things and get us back on track and, in a positive vibration. Just knowing things without having to speculate and wonder and listen to all the blah, blah, blah and all this stuff going on, just that settles our energy. I hope you're feeling better already. It doesn't mean that these answers are good. None of this is good, but it is what it is. And knowledge is always good. Knowledge, awareness is what I'm always going for. Instill fear when we talk about the dark side and parasites and any of this nefarious spiritual war stuff. It's never, ever, ever to instill fear. I am the opposite and fight so hard to get people out of fear. because that's dark side. That helps with it's dark energies, and it's not good for us to be in fear. That's low vibrational shit, right? So, but even if we're aware of things we don't want to be aware of, it's to know the truth is everything. That's what the light is about. The light isn't about giving you the answers you want to make you feel good. The light is about giving you the truth. What you can hang your hat on and go, there we go. Now I know. And from there, I can move on and move forward and have, awareness as, in how I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, what I'm doing about anything, right? I mean, this is like, think about, when you think somebody's cheating on you. You think that because you're courted and you feel it. This is how people start going, something's not right. You feel that energy. And until you know the truth, it drives you crazy. And once you know the truth, you're like, there we are. Now I know. Now I'm validated in what I thought. And this is the same kind of thing. Not sure how to word this into yes or no, but why this particular shooter? Oh yeah, that's that's not an easy yes or no. I'm hearing proximity, availability, already compromise. Parasite, they become aware. It's a whole psychic network that they, the way that dark side parasites work with each other. So they find the people that they need to find. It's signals and all sorts of stuff. You already have somebody who is compromised with a parasite, and then you start to inject psychic attack and more in there about certain things, and then you get them hooked up with certain people. Without knowing those details, that's what I can say can be easily accomplished once that's in play. So Chris says, so it was meant for drama. It appears so. Yeah, it appears so. But what's really messed up here is they used real bullets with real guns and shot real people, and real innocent people died. A person. Those are two people I think it was just the one person died. And multiple people got hurt. So that is very telling on exactly just how there's no boundaries, there's no ethics, there's no borders, there's no morals, there's no, well, that's taking it too far. No, we're talking about the dark. So if they're, and it makes sense, they would want Trump in there. They would want Trump to be again. Duh. Well, actually, really, there's not a whole lot of difference between him and Biden. You really boil it down. I mean, there is and there isn't. They have different flavors of how they are manipulated and controlled and the people within their party, but it makes sense that they would take it to a level of going this far. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. So family didn't know, inside job, up to 15 people, law enforcement and Secret Service to some degree did know. Excuse me. Was it meant to be a successful assassination attempt? The answer was no. So that is all really, really intense, juicy business we just got. Information we just got. Katir says, Where do parasites come from? Ooh, this is the big one, and such a great question. And we got to go way, 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 way back in time. Yeah, this is a loaded question. And I'll give you kind of the cliff notes, and I will share a video that you can all watch. Most of you, I don't think have watched it. I think a couple of you have, but most of you have not because it's old. I was guided to create it a long time ago. And it goes into a lot about about myself, who I am as the divine incarnate, archangel, about this spiritual war, about creation, how it started, why we have the situation we do with the dark side, what parasites are, how they got here, what happened, like all this stuff. It's a video, but you also have to watch it and just listen to it, because as I speak, there's also text on the screen. Actually, it's on my old. I did it so long ago. Okay, remind me to get that. Well, let me try actually right now before I forget. It's a good video, and there's a lot of information in it. Just give me a second. I did have another channel before I had the current channel, and so there's a whole other channel of mine that I had with a lot on it, and I was guided to sorry guys, hold for me. Why isn't it just bringing up that? There's so many videos here. Why isn't it just bringing up that one? Ay, caramba. Seriously. What is the point of a search if it's going to bring up like 8 million videos and not the one that I want? Ugh. Guys, I'm so sorry. I will find it. Okay, I don't know why it's not coming up right now. I'll find it later and I'll post it on my Facebook. But the cliff notes, are, God, it takes us so far back, before humans were humans, actually. And there is a timeline that changes, and most people know this. It goes from all these different types of, like, the evolution from ape to different the lineage of evolution to Homo sapien has a huge and big jump. And basically what happened is, way back when, during that time, this planet was and was actually meant to be a planet of animals and nature. and not actually what it's become. But there was a galactic race that came and wanted to control and have various resources from Gaia. But they didn't want to do, they weren't really, they didn't have the numbers in being able to come here to do the work to create what they wanted to create and take what they wanted to take. So they had these energetic beings that they put into Gaia's, into this world, basically. They worked with they had these entities that were never meant to be here. And then they altered I can't remember what the last one was. It's not coming to me right now. It's after the Cro-Magnon, whatever it was, when they started to really evolve. So they took that and they altered it and created human. And then they controlled humans with these parasites. And then off it went. We can definitely get into that more at another time. It is it's like opening up a big word. It's like a lot there. And like I said, I do get into some of that in this video. It's a great question. And it's a loaded one because there's so much connected to it. But, that's definitely something that we can do a live about. And I will find that video. I will post it on my Facebook. I don't know why it's not coming up right now. I'll have to, I don't know. It's one of those things. Great question. Yeah, it is a great question. Honestly, Wildlife Planet sounds nice. I know, right? No, it wasn't the Anunnaki. It was not. It's not a race that anybody knows. Yeah, no, it wasn't. It's not a race that anybody knows. And the whole thing with the Anunnaki is not what people think either. There's so much here to get into when it comes to this stuff. But again, it was a great question, is a great question. And it was basically because those entities and energies were not indigenous, or however you want to put it, to Gaia and her body. She just didn't have that. It was just animals and nature. It was just like, imagine the Amazon, whatever, and all different, it was just, that's what it was. And there was not a timeline to shift into human and to have this be the world that it is. But it is, it is what it is. But this is why humans, from the time they were humans, have been doing the they've been doing against each other, fighting against each other, and seeing division in all of this, because they were programmed to do that through the very first, their creation. But because of all of this is when the light started coming in and then starting to incarnate. And that's when things started changing, when the light started to literally go, okay, we need to intervene here, because there's so much of this suffering. It's kind of like the way people would be like, we got to go rescue these cow or pigs or lambs or whatever, because, from farms and stuff, they're going to be slaughtered. And they're, it's like that type of energy. As archangels, there was like, archangels basically are the management of creation, are in multiple places at once, incarnations at once. And when it became known And what was, when it happened, when these things happened here, it was decided that there was going to be a big time divine intervention. And off it went. So this has been a war for a very, 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 very long time. Very, very long time. I hope that satisfies you for right now, because it is there's a lot there. Like I said, the Cliff Notes is basically that. Yeah, but a great question. Okay, so wow. We've been here quite a while. What time is it? Oh my gosh, I can't believe how long we've been here. 3 hours, 20 minutes, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are amazing. Thanks for the love and the likes and the hearts. Does anybody have any more questions? Anything else to share? Let me know how you're feeling. Please let me know. Do you feel better? Because the idea here was to feel better. If you didn't see or read the description of the very short channeling that I did earlier from the Divine Council of Light, it said, we, the High Council of Light, hope that this live stream helps to settle the negative energies through knowing the truth and allow people to turn their attention back to the July Stargate on a positive charge and get back to focusing on your spirituality and being intentional about connecting to us and your personal guides and guardians. So that was the reason why I was guided to do this. Also, I needed to do this like on a personal level. Like I said in the beginning, I was feeling like my body was not okay since Saturday night. Very uncomfortable in the stomach and in the lower back because of this. And I just kept being told again and again, you need to do this for yourself and for so many other people to have answers. And I really hope that you all feel better knowing these answers. It doesn't make it all okay, because we know there's the spiritual war, these dark things, there's all blah, 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 blah. But at least we have things like, at least it's not like chaos in our heads. At least that's how I feel. It's how I hope you all feel too. Nicole says, thank you for answers. Yes, I feel better. Chris says, yep, I feel better. Yay! Jason says, knowledge is power and you're the teacher. Thank you, Infinity. Oh, you're so sweet. All the loves. Thank you. Mental itch satisfied. I love how you put that. Yes. Yes, for me too. Obviously, you can see I didn't spend any time doing my own pendulum stuff, asking these questions, because I knew I was going to get here with you guys today. So stoked that I was guided to do this and do this with you. I knew that I needed my peeps. I needed to be with my people and you guys too. I could just feel this is just, it is a big deal. It is a really big deal. But what do we know? We know that Trump is still not going to be president. We know that Robert F. Kennedy is still coming through as the winner of this election. We know Trump wasn't involved in this own thing. We know that his family wasn't. We know that Biden and his camp wasn't, but we do know people in his campaign and law enforcement and people in the Secret Service was. I think that is the gist of it. All of that makes sense. We didn't get conflicting answers, and you see how the pendulum works very intensely, very quickly, very accurately. Thank you for all the information from Katir. You're welcome. Katir. I don't know why I always say your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Adrian, hearts from Karen and Adrian. Okay, so to close this out, I'm being guided to do an oracle reading to settle us all in, to move forward. I'm going to see you guys back here on Friday for another episode. We are going to get into that other case study that I didn't have time for on this last Friday because the first one took up a lot of time. But we're going to do the one about Jim Jeffries and Tom Papa. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you guys, I don't know if I got a strike against me. I have to look, but they shut down my live in the middle of it because I was streaming Joe Rogan's podcast. But this is what I don't understand. I have not had time to look into it and figure it out. I did appeal. They did reject the appeal. And there's like, as far as I know, like, who do I talk to at YouTube to get this sorted out? Because it's a reaction video. I'm wondering if it was because I had it full screen and I wasn't in a portion of the video. So I think when we come here on Friday to do the other case study, and whatever else I'm guided to talk about, probably maybe a roundup on this, or 4 or 5 more days have gone by. Who knows what's going to go on? But we're going to try it that way, and hopefully it'll be okay. But everybody on YouTube, hopefully you can, move over to Facebook if it does happen again. But people do reaction videos all the time. But typically, now that, when I was thinking about it more and things were coming through, it was like, yeah, but typically their video is the bigger video, and the video they're reacting to was the smaller video. And I had it full screen because I just wanted to make it easy for everybody to see. And that could have been my bad. That could have been the problem. So anyway, we are gonna be back here on Friday as regularly scheduled, but obviously we couldn't wait till Friday for this. This needed to be done ASAP. So, but I am going to do an oracle reading. So everybody stick around. We're gonna get a general oracle reading for everybody, hopefully helping us feel even better. I hope you guys all just continue to feel better with everything. Put that in there, right? Okay, so just give me a second here to see what deck we're using. Here we go. The Light Worker Oracle is the one that I'm guided to. I'm going to say the same thing I always say. I love this oracle. I always say that. I love all of my oracle decks. They all are amazing. Nose is running. Okay, the Light Worker Oracle. Let's do keys. Going to shuffle, get us a reading here to close this out. Thanks for hanging with me. You guys are the best again. Whoa. I'm going to do the thing that I do with the splitting of the deck to get our card. Oh, that took a second. Okay, and we are left with 5 cards. I'm just get a little OCD here. Just bear with me. Third card. All right, let's see what we got here. gotta look at the card first. Card 3, third ray of creative intelligence. Oh, and this is actually the card that's for the image. It's on the back of the book. Front of the book, back of the book, and image. Let me see if I can give us more light here so you can see this a little bit more clearly. It's this beautiful, it's this woman down here. And she's got like cracks all over her, and she's like looking down. See that? And then up here we have her soul, her energy with all these butterflies and going high up. And it's called Third Ray of Creative Intelligence. Card number 3. I have not seen this card before, so very cool. I'm still, this deck is new to me. Pretty new to me anyway. Do I have my glasses handy? Of course not. Oh. I had my glasses here. No? I'll do the rest of it. It's just, there's this whole area at the top that's in italics that is like, okay. I think I'll be okay. I'm adjusting. Let me find it. Okay, here we go. The third ray of creative intelligence brings the gift of practical spirituality and develops the talent for grounding inspired creativity into the world. It empowers your manifestation. This ray brings many gifts, including new ideas and the practical support needed to bring them to life. The ability to organize, make connections and networks, and synthesize information from various sources into one coherent whole. Archangel Shamuel helps you receive this gift from the universe with love and intelligence. The third ray of creative intelligence will help you gain practicality to organize and manifest an idea or vision in the world. It gives you the drive and the means to implement your plans. When this ray is active in our lives, we want to take action, bring something to life, not just to know or feel, but to do. With this oracle comes a message about taking action and believing that even the most inspired and spiritual ideas can have practical purpose in the world. Absolutely. Your visions and ideas can and should be worked with so they can manifest. You must believe in your capability and competence, your confidence and practical, down-to-earth common sense, even if these are not always your strongest qualities. If you doubt your ability to achieve all that you dream of, remember that sometimes the universe puts dreams in our hearts to help us develop strengths that are dormant within us. This can bring to life a whole slew of abilities and talents we didn't know we had. Been there, done that. Absolutely. We are given nudges in life to discover what we are made of, which can be so much more than we might have initially believed. Again, been there, done that. The challenge with this ray is to take it one step at a time. Oh, it's so true. So true. Allow the universe to help you find the patience, persistence, and sense of humor that will help you stick to the process of creation. Do not try to do too much at once, nor allow your project to get too complicated. Above all, do not give up before you have finally brought your inner light to life in the world. Archangel Shamuel brings the gift of reclaiming lost energy, ideas, or talents that can help you fulfill your divine potential. Highest possible timelines. Yes. This archangel helps you reawaken talents from this or other lifetimes that may have been cast aside. You guys, I have experienced this. It is a thing. It reminds me of, in the Matrix where they plug in like programs, like you could do Kung Fu now. You can, you can cook, you can, whatever that it is. It's exactly like that. I've experienced it. It's a thing. It is a thing. Perhaps your intuitive healing energy was put to one side as you studied or tended to family responsibilities. Perhaps your business sense or your ability to market yourself in a soulful and loving way is yet to be discovered. Maybe an ability to reach or, oh, sorry, to teach or, what? Yeah, that's teach. Maybe an ability to teach or the clear, confident voice of a writer is within you, waiting to be developed. This archangel will help you find and apply with loving confidence whatever talents and abilities are required to turn your aspirations into manifestations. As this ray has a special connection with business, you're asked to remain open to learning and growing through financial success. Whoop, whoop, love it. This ray can help heal the tension that many feel between spirituality and financial abundance. Holy shit, that is loaded. There's so much in this one. Oh my gosh, that is so loaded. It's such a thing. It helps us recognize that the spirit feels joy in successful physical world endeavors, particularly those that serve love. When a situation is win-win for all involved, there is no reason at all to hold back from material success. Absolutely. It can be celebrated and enjoyed whilst you maintain the true motivation for the work, which is love. I love this. Okay, and invocation. I now accept of my own free will the blessing and grace of the third ray of creative intelligence. I thank the universe for all assistance in turning my spiritual aspirations into successful, practical, real world manifestations of light, grace, love, and empowerment. I gracefully receive the unconditionally loving intervention of Archangel Shamuel to recover and express all talents and abilities meant to help me fulfill my mission. Thank you, universe, for helping me to manifest my divine dreams. I ask that in unconditional love, this ray be made available to all who can benefit from it according to divine wisdom, mercy, and compassion for the greatest good. So be it, or let it be so. Oh, wow, this is so big and so much. I hope that you love this. But I'm seeing another, let me just pause here because I see a big comment here from Laura. Don't think I ever stayed awake this long after a day like I've had with another on the books for tomorrow. Totally worth it. Love you infinity. Thanks so much. Oh, you're so sweet. I love you too, honey. Thanks for staying awake late with me after such a long day. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're all here. Katir says, I like that. I like it a lot too. I love it. In fact, this is so good. And there's so many points here to touch on. I could spend probably an hour on it in itself. But the big thing here is, if we remember this Stargate, the 7-7 Stargate is about connecting to our divine counterparts. And that also means our soul and what, to bring in through us what we're meant to create and experience in the world. And we are meant to be abundant. We are meant to not to suffer. And a lot of people, like I said, this whole financial thing here, because a lot of people have this conflict, and a lot of people have put this on me and many other people who are in the spiritual lane of life. And this is what we do. A lot of people have said to me, not to my face, but in comments and things like this, you shouldn't be making money off of your gifts. That's wrong. And my response to that is, that's religious indoctrination, which is really odd because religions make money off of their stuff all the time, right? Like a lot of money in a lot of cases. So why, as the individual, why are we not allowed to do that? That's just pure bullshit. If this is meant to be our life to some degree, if we're meant to be a channel for the divine and bring in through our souls things that are supposed to be created in spaces and experiences and healing or information, whatever that it is, and it brings love and light and like what we experience today, why shouldn't I be compensated for that financially, let's say, or in anything that I do for anybody? Why should I take my own time and space and energy for free and do whatever it is that people need of me? How am I supposed to then pay for things if I'm using my time to do these things, but I'm not getting paid for it? So that would mean I would need to have a side job or a regular job that would take all of my energy and have me out of my spiritual space in order to do spiritual work. But then it could be as good as it would if I'm just doing that. But how could I just do that if I'm not making any money? That just doesn't work. And the exchange, the tool of money is neutral. It can be positive or it can be negative. It's the intent behind it. And always when I receive money, I'm always thinking of cycling that energy back into the world for abundance and prosperity and blah, 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 all the things. There's a money wound that we need to heal that's attached to what we're doing with our lives and our programming into lack or abundance and how we're what we see as good or necessary or not necessary investments in ourselves and all these other things. So this is about remembering that we have been created to create, and we are meant to bring into our material world the things that we are meant to create. They're not just meant to stay in our brains. They're meant to be something in the world for us to experience for ourselves and for others. This is why it feels so good to be a creator, to create things, to be part of creating things, especially if they're in alignment with, our true soul and our true selves and connecting to all those abilities that we have from other incarnations. That is definitely a thing. That happens. That happened to me with my art and a lot of my psychic abilities and awareness and all of these things. I didn't come fully docked in all of this stuff. I had to go through my ascension and embodiment process for things to come in, and then boom, all of a sudden now I can do a thing I didn't think or imagine in my wildest dreams that I could do, but it's a thing. So this is about getting in touch with the aspects of self that is meant to express and create and put things out into the world, and understanding it's a process, and understanding that there's a good chance that that is meant to be how you're meant to support yourself. If that is, whatever that could be with, collaborating with other people or whatever. And lastly, just the tapping into that. This is going to help regulate all our energy from where we were before. We started this live. People have said, I feel so much better now. I feel better now. And then this message, again, this third ray of creative intelligence brings the gift of practical spirituality and develops the talent for grounding inspired creativity into the world. That is super light. That is so light. Just think of how beautiful that is. Whatever it is that, people, there's so many bazillion ways that we can create to bring light into the world, to lift up the vibration of people, to make people smile, to make people happy, to cycle love. And remember, it kept going back to love. If love is at the heart of it, then it's always going to be a good thing. And you're always going to be supported in it. What we have to eliminate is doubt and fear from the process, and understand that it is a process and it can take time. It doesn't just happen. We have to make it happen. We're super divinely supported. in our endeavors to create and to collaborate and to unify in so many ways that we can. We're so supported in that. I can't even tell you how supported we are. I'm so crazily supported in what I do and what I'm guided to do, that helps me, motivates me, inspires me to do the actual things that need to be done. And I see it with my clients. I see it all the time. We are meant to we are meant to bring more love in the world through our creation, through what we're through that channel of love into the world. And also, though, have a level of detachment to it. This really didn't talk about that. Have a level of detachment to it. Let it go. If we're bringing things in to create for others and for ourselves, though, like that whole act of creation is a gift, and it feels so good. This is why you hear writers and singers and musicians and whatever the people are creating, that when they're in that mode of creating, look at Elon Musk. People may like him, people may hate him, but he is driven to create in the ways that he is. And so that's it, so you just look at people that are creating and bringing things into the world and how that inspires other people as well. It's all like light on light on light. And again, if we have love connected to it, we're always going to be successful. We just have to eliminate the negative energies, the fear, again, the doubt, the confusion, and know that it is a spiritual war, that there are going to be forces that are going to try to stop us on that level too. It'll show up like with people, being negative and doubtful and whatever, just all sorts of things coming in to take that light out and to get you to slow down and get you to get distracted, bring chaos in, let things, happen to not allow for the creation to take place. So just know that. But I hope that this really inspires you to connect. This is the third ray of creative intelligence. Let your heart, let your mind open up to how you're meant to create, what you're meant to share, how you're meant to share it. And even if it's for you at first, and this can be all sorts of different ways, but art is truly divine. At its core, creation is truly divine at its core. We know about the muse. That is the muse. That is our divine self. That is our soul. That is our divine guidance, telling us to create and being with us through that creational process. And through that, we just resonate higher and higher and higher. We heal through that. We connect through that to Gaia, to our ascended masters and divine counterparts. There's a whole big thing around creation that is really important, and being creative in itself. Okay, so Laura says got goosebumps with that one. Love it. I know it's a really good one. I got accepted into business school recently. Whoa, good for you. Good for you. Yeah, well, that talked about that, Karen. This is a real practical world, and there is the business side of it. That's always been my I'm not so great at that side. I just wish I could just, can I just, have a hut and be me and people just come and bring me the shit I need so I don't have to really need the money and do business and marketing and whatever. I'm not when it comes to this wooey hippy dippy stuff, that's where I've lacked in this stuff because I don't know. It's just, it's not a block anymore. I have gotten definitely better at it. It's just, it can be a thing where, we want to create, we want to be in a studio or at our keyboards or in a group or whatever, but all the other things that come with it as far as business goes tends to maybe take some of the magic out of it, or at least that's the perception or the feel of it. So we can tend to reject that side. So it is a really good thing to have that focus and, you know, on the business aspect sides of things. So congratulations on that. Good for you. And I hope that this card, where's the card? What did I do with the card? Oh, it's right here. I hope that this card, it's a beautiful card. I will take a picture of the card and the guidebook and put it on my Facebook and on Twitter so y'all can see it more clearly and read it again, which I highly suggest that you do, and read that invocation again with yourself in a meditative state. It is a beautiful, I also like to, you know, it's a command, like your command, like commands. They're asking and commanding. I'll leave you with this. When it comes to your divine authority as a divine incarnate, you have the authority to command for assistance. Now, I know that that sounds really maybe elitist or something, but the act between commanding and asking is a big one. Just resonate with that. Asking for something and commanding something. Totally different energy, totally different power behind it. I'm not saying that asking is not good. It's great to ask for help. We need that. But when you command within yourself, that's a resonance within yourself. It's more about you. It's kind of like when you call in your guides and guardians. It's not like they need to be called. They're aware of you. They're aware of what you need. You know, they're there. It's more for you to tap in. It's a you thing than a them thing. So this is kind of the same thing. The command is not to command the universe or command your guides and guardians or guardian angel or anything like that in a bad way, in a negative way. It's more for you to get into alignment and get into your strength and power as a divine incarnate light body. To command is very powerful. I command that I myself open up and that I am receiving, and I command the powers that be and my guides and guardians, however you want to put it. The word command is very, very powerful. And I suggest that you use it in ways that and you'll feel it when you say that. Of course, at the crux of it needs to be love and light for the command, or then you're working with dark stuff. We don't do that here. So, that's just it's kind of a cheat code, the command versus the ask. The ask is kind of passive and you're kind of like, can I have it? Will you help me? I hope for this. You know what I mean? It's very passive energy. When you say, I command, boom. It's like, whew, it's a lot. It's a big difference. I command to be open, to receive the information, to be guided in the way that I need to be guided for my next steps. May I be open to receive from my guardian angel and all who support me, that my next steps, that whatever home or people or job or project or whatever it is, I command for the highest possible timelines to come, and that I will see them and be open to them, that I will do the work. That I won't be limited in my perspective and perception, that I open up myself to all of my capabilities and abilities, the ones that I know of and the ones that I don't know of yet. I command myself. I command all that work with to give me the strength and the power, the motivation and the inspiration to be connected and limitless and fearless to the best of my ability at any given moment. I command it. So be it, and let it be so. You see? Very powerful. Very, very powerful. It makes a difference. It really, really does. It really, really does. Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. Okay, so with that, thank you all for being with me for nearly 4 hours. You guys rock it so hard. I love you, love you, love you. Again, I hope you're all feeling really much better now, and especially after this oracle, I feel fantastic. I feel so much better. Oh, I was waiting for this for the last 2 days. I'm like, I can't wait to do this live. I feel like shit just physically. It was just like, I don't like this. I need clarity. I need to get things realigned within me with this paradigm shift and all these energies shifting and all this chaos going through the collective. I really hope you feel great. Thank you all for being here with me. Good night. Good night, my dear. Katir, I always want to call you something else. I love you, though. You're beautiful and amazing. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Adrian and Karen and Jason and Nicole, Bo and Karen and Adrian. Did I already say that? And anybody who is here who I don't know that you're here, because there was quite a few of you here today, please remember to subscribe, to follow. In the description of this live, there is links to, and link right here. Let me take this off. My website, infiniteempath.com. Please reach out, follow me around all the things. I'm on X now, my Medium articles, blah, 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 all the things. And I will remember to get that video, the Who Am I video, posted for you guys. I just have to find it. I don't know why it's not coming up right now, but I will get it. You guys can check that out as you're guided. Again, thank you so much. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Go to sleep, Laura. I love you. I hope you get serious rest. May your beautiful guardian dragon help you recover and your guardian angel recover overnight, my dear one. And I will see you all very soon. Aw, thank you. Thank you for the hearts, Nicole. Thank you all. I love you. I'll see you all later. Mwah! Bye for now.